All right, everybody, welcome into the Couch Potato Sports Show. It is me, Sonny Clark, the hardest working man in sports radio, as we are here on our Sunday morning tradition that continues on into our 14th, not one, not two, not three, no, 14th year here on the Couch Potato Sports Show. And by the time the end of the Super Bowl comes, we would be in 15 years. So rocking and rolling here on the Couch Potato Sports Show, bringing you every Sunday during the NFL. We talk them all. And I know sometimes that my cohorts, my misfits, sometimes don't like the fact that I'll talk up a game that means absolutely nothing, especially this guy right here. I mean, this guy can't do nothing but bitch. I mean, whether or not I'm talking about a show, a game, or what, this guy's always on my ass, but I'm always glad that he's here. Makes me laugh. I was talking to Cuervo about this, when we were off air. You make me laugh. That's why I keep you around, because if you didn't make me laugh, I'd probably boot you. Good to see you, though. And well-rested, looking good this morning. You got up, washed the face. I'm shocked. How you doing, my friend?
So what are you saying? I make you laugh? Is that what you're saying? You see?
Oh yeah.
Are you saying I entertain you? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Are you entertained? Yes.
Listen. I'm all for you talking about games that no one gives a shit about, but you go 30 minutes on them. Okay?
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
because games out there are a lot more important. Okay?
Yes and no. Okay, and by the way, yes and no. And the reason being is because there's games next week, and if one of those teams, i.e. the New England Patriots, by the way, I wonder if Bryce is on suicide watch here. After last Sunday, they take the frickin' loss, and then they turn around and take the loss to New England. I mean, I thought maybe we need to look at the ledge at where he lives and make sure he's just not hanging off the side of it. I mean,
he's not the only person in Brooklyn to ever fall off a building, though, sir.
I know, but I'm worried about him. I'm not worried about anybody else. I'm worried about Bryce from Brooklyn. He brings too much to the show. I can't afford to lose him to suicide.
I know. You got to throw with Bryce. I know. It's very evident.
Hey,
I like Bryce too. I mean, me and him are compadres.
Yeah.
There. But I mean, I don't sit there and just gloat like, oh my god, look at the smile. Look at the teeth. Look at this.
He is. He's good. He's so good looking. Horse, I mean, we need that here. We need that here. Good looking. Because no offense against you, we're both ugly. I mean, so we are. I mean, come on, let's be serious. We were in radio for a reason before they started this video trend. By the way, this is Cuervo's fault. I mean, we wouldn't be on video if Cuervo said, hey, man, we should do Facebook Live. And then we tried to do it with their BS, and then I found the streaming unit. And that was about 5 months before COVID hit, and then everybody discovered StreamYard. And, we're here.
I remember when years ago I thought about taking the Offshoots radio show and making that a video thing. And all my compadres are sitting there going, dude, we're not built for TV. Look at us. I'm like, yeah, but it's all about how we sell ourselves to people. And for those I got involved with the whole thing, I mean, Kevin at the time, he's not TV friendly at all. He's not really person friendly either. But I'm not gonna lie.
Well, yeah.
But I mean, Jim was on my show, and Jimmy was in and out, and then he quit being. Then with him, you can hear him like. And trying to edit that shit out on a radio show is hard enough. I can do it on a video. That's too much.
Right.
But
too much work.
There's so much stuff. I mean, I just learned how to do shorts on YouTube yesterday. So I was going through some of the offshoot stuff and remixing some video shorts with that and some funny
Which, by
moments
the way,
we
thanks
had.
for those clips. Those were very fun. That's what I'm talking about. You're funny. I mean, you brought. I wish you would have stayed on with Bryce on one of those things. I was like, oh man, I wish you would have had a little bit, but
Well,
I'm
the
too
only,
lazy to do it.
the only problem with those video shorts is that because you see how our screen is. I mean, like I have to like separate half that screen from one of us, and like our name and our title and everything kind of get in the way of that. And you're not seeing the full screen to where there's no really good way to where like I know Zoom does a thing to where if you're talking, you're center screen. If I start talking, then I become center screen. We go back and
Right.
forth, right?
Right.
But I don't trust Zoom at all because their analog stuff is so dated now that it's not even funny. And StreamYard is
Yeah.
trying to yes,
This
yeah.
is so easy, which you just press a button and then you're the one in there and
Yeah,
slide it over.
but as opposed to like just saying like if I'm talking, I'm like the interface will sit there and say okay, well, he's talking, he's got center stage. Then someone else starts talking and they go over to him and he says
Well, I
whereas
don't know. Even when you're talking, I don't always want you to be center stage.
right.
So
Oh,
this is what it says.
by the way, look at my newest addition I've added here to my deal.
Oh my God! If it's Emmett Smith, I think I'm gonna puke. Oh,
No,
okay. All right. All
Micah
right. Hey,
Parsons.
Micah Parsons is a badass. There is no question.
Yes.
Listen, we say it all the time on this show. We stole it from Randy Galloway. Watch the damn game. Watch Micah Parsons. That guy is such a badass that if you are not doubling up on him, you're going to have a hard time. And I don't want to see Emmitt Smith because he's not the real rushing title. Yeah, I said it. And it should be Barry Sanders and then my guy Walter Payton, then him. But and listen, I got some mad respect for Tony Romo
Mm-hmm.
in the broadcast booth. I'm telling you right now, I got some mad respect for him.
Yeah, I know you can't see. I got a Roger
But
Staubach
now
right there,
I
too.
sit and BS with my brothers during the games because of video and stuff. And there goes the pot. There he's back. So, but that being said, of course, that's the name of this show. Catch us every Sunday from 9 to noon. We go over all of them, much to the dismay of that guy over there, So, and sometimes we'll dive deep into a game that means absolutely nothing. So that's just what I do. And that's just
Folks,
what the show ends up.
folks, I'm 8 Advil into this thing. Let's go.
Well, let's talk about Thursday night football. I mean, yes, Bryce is oh my God. The Pittsburgh Steelers right now. They get rid of their offensive coordinator and the team looks exactly the same. I mean, seriously, dude, they didn't even come close
Well,
to making any kind of adjustments to be a different football team offensively. Never mind the fact that they had Mitchell Trubisky in there. That didn't freaking help. And by the way, they need to 86 that idea. It's one thing to have Mitchell Trubisky as a backup. It's another know that he really, really, really sucks. You guys need to have a better option at the backup quarterback than Mitchell Trubisky.
at the same time, he's all that was available too. So I mean, you're at the mercy of what the league has to offer. Listen,
Go get one of the friggin' scrubs. I mean, listen, what's the difference between Mitchell Trubisky and a scrub off the street? Nothing. He might as well go the other route. You already know what you get with him, which is he's really bad.
But then here's the thing though. This is where you run into the ownership part of that. Okay, do I get a scrub and have him be our starter if in case we need a backup to do it? I'm still trying to sell ticket sales, or do I sell a quarterback that people are pretty much familiar with? Whether he's good or bad, that's a whole other issue. But we bring him in there, and then there might be a little sign of hope because he has won a little bit, not a lot, in this league. Whereas then again, if you look at the Bengals, right? I mean, their quarterback hadn't thrown a ball in how long, and he had a magnificent game in an overtime loss.
No, overtime win against my team. So that being said, I don't know if you remember our conversation about Derek Carr, about if you scored 35 and they scored 36, was it the quarterback's fault? Okay. I wanted to reiterate just something about that. And I agree with what your kind of initial point is on that. And I say initial because here's the thing: when you're talking about a quarterback, and all you got to do is take a look at the Jaguar quarterback when he went down. Okay, all right, what was that his fault in that game? And first of all, he goes down to injury, and then he's replaced with I forget the guy's name. It just I got it on my notes. I don't have my notes up, but oh my god, but he went down. At least got him a field goal, unlike not scoring the tie or whatever the case may be, or not getting anything. But in that case, the Jaguars lose that football game. Now, was that the quarterback's fault? Of course not. In that case, because during that game, the defense definitely let that team down. Now, so in that case, it was the defense's fault. But we're talking about if that was a lower scoring game. All right, this was a high scoring game. I mean, this no name, I don't even remember his name. For the Bengals quarterback, walks out there and literally lights up the defense of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And by the way, I'm sitting there watching this and I'm losing my mind. I'm not losing my mind because of what the offense is doing. I'm seeing it from the second drive of the Bengals, coming out there and bitch slapping them all over the football field. The only one that had any kind of success was Josh Allen. He got to the quarterback a few times, but guess what? That one guy not holding up the rest of the team. That defensive line was not getting penetration to a no-name rookie quarterback. Now I got to pick between him and Gardner Minshew this week. And oh my God, what a horrible freaking game to try to pick who's going to win it. But it was just a nutty game, as far as Monday Night Football was concerned.
Scott, it has a lot to do. The one thing I always preach on this show is about momentum, right? And the Bengals have some momentum going in. I mean, once they started filling with that quarterback, then that team just became alive. And I'm not saying they couldn't do that with Burrow, but I'm like, it was good to see this. They said they went, okay, well, one guy down. This guy can throw. We got to get in position, and they did that. And the guy had a 300-yard, almost 400-yard game. He only missed 5 passes, I think it was. He had a hell of a quarterback rating for that for his first game in the league.
Absolutely.
I want to be on the other side.
I just moved you because I'm used to seeing myself.
I'm used to be on the host side. I mean, come on now. Not on this show, but I mean. Oh, by the way, did you tune into the Offshoots Hall of Fame show this past week?
I have not got to that. And actually, I was going to watch that Monday before I sat down and watched Monday Night Raw after work.
Special thanks to Nathan Downs, Doberman. I reached out to him because John Allen, had left Facebook. I had no way to get a hold of him. He was going to win the Killer Award. So I got a hold of Doberman. He sent him the information. John texted me. We got the process going. He was on our show this past week to accept the Killer Tim Brooks Award.
By the way, I did see some of it because it was on my screen, and I was doing other things, working, and then I was watching the football game. So I did see him, by the way.
Right. But for him and Ruben to come on there, the show, and 2 guys from the killer era, really, that were a big part of this whole thing, to have Sean Monk, who is Jason Silver's nephew, to come on and honor him. Jason Silver, of course, a young wrestler who died of epilepsy less than a year ago, died in his bathtub. Clearly, I hate giving awards to people who are no longer here. But
yeah,
Jason Silver's award is going to be a yearly thing we're going to be doing, because it's going to be a thing to where Sean's going to be dealing with a lot of young kids coming up and who's doing the Jason Silver thing, going to shows, bringing their stuff in their gear in their car, helping out with shows, doing going the extra mile to see if they can try to get on the show, because that's a big part of what Jason Silver used to do. So yeah, we did that. Then we went into our show, and we got a bunch of clips, got a lot of funny clips. So we got on there. Billy and Omega and Mike and me just doing our thing.
By the way, Omega's daughter, she's about as cute as can be. She was on the frame. They just about as cute. Makes you kind of wonder.
I'm not going to question it.
Well, I know Omega. Can beat the hell out of me.
I know Omega. I ain't questioning that at all, bro.
But anyway, but yeah, she's adorable. But
yeah,
back to the Steelers, man. Bryce put it on his page. He said those 2 games are a fireable offense. The question I want to ask is, who does he want to fire? I mean, because this guy has got some mad love for his head coach. So I'm wondering if he thinks that it's a fireable offense and they're going to go ahead and get, that they should get rid of the head coach. I don't.
Can you name the last time a Pittsburgh Steelers coach was fired? Head coach was fired.
Oh God, no! That got fired. I don't think they've ever had anybody fired. I've had them seen them retire.
That's called tradition, sir. That's called tradition.
Yeah. Well, it's called being a storied franchise, and when these franchises know what they're doing, listen, I'm not going to put this on the head coach. I just really am not. He allowed it to happen for a long time, or before he could get quote unquote get Canada out of there. I don't know. See, there's a lot of politics that are involved with that, and as much as I would love to be able to blame the head coach, there's still a part that he can't just and I might be wrong about this, but I don't think he can just stand up and say, listen, this guy's out of here. He may be able to do that with his head coach, but that franchise, I think that's a step-by-step thing. It's not a knee-jerk thing that ends up happening. And then they're continuing run. It seems like they're still running Matt Canada's offense, and
because it's so hard to sit there and go, okay, he's out. Here's a whole different style of offense we're going to bring in here with only a few more games left in the season. Our season, and we'll only make the playoffs. Not the whole other question. So I mean, look, the thing is,
well, those 2 games cost them the playoffs.
That's it. Okay, but here's the thing. Sometimes maybe your talent isn't good enough, and no matter how bad your coaching is or how good your coaching is, the talent on the field just can't produce one way or the other. And the Steelers right now, I mean, they're in a lot of hurt. I mean, they're like the Green Bay Packers. They could be decent, they could suck, and it's all about the talent on the field. Coaching, you get rid of a offensive coordinator, which by the way I do agree he should have been let go before the season maybe, and so they could have found somebody else. But
I said last year, game 3.
But they didn't. So this is what we're stuck with, right? So, look, to the detriment of their own, they held on a little bit too longer than they should have. Okay, every team does that. Now, because it's not a head coach issue and it's more of a coordinator issue, now you're kind of screwed yourself because you can't just implement a brand new offense that's so late.
Absolutely.
In the game.
Yes.
So let's take what works, which isn't much, and let's
they proved that Thursday.
Yeah, and let's try to maximize our value with that. That's the problem though, because the game is 60 minutes long, and you got to make sure you have the ball long enough to be able to win these things, and their talent is not good enough to hold on to the ball. So, look, New England was not going to go for everything for the rest of the season. They were going to find a couple wins before the end of the season. Ezekiel Elliott showed up during the game. Now, it was
how many games in then he finally showed up?
Yeah, I know, right? So, trust me, I know. But
atypical Ezekiel Elliott, Dallas Cowboy fans, out there, love him. By the way, that being said, just it popped in my head. I kind of made mention before we came on air. I don't know if he's watching or not, but if my boy back from Arizona, Adrian, if he's out there watching, good to see you. And his wife found me. A traditional skip tracing guys found me, of course, and not that I was really kind of, but that's just the way it is. Good to see Adrian Nunes and his wife. His wife is lovely. I mean, and I known him for a long time working back in the Ford Motor Credit days of my careers and stuff. So good folks there. So if you're watching, welcome into the show. Hopefully you enjoy it. And I don't think he's necessarily a Dallas Cowboy fan, but he's got family that is a Dallas Cowboy fan, and throughout his family. And this guy right here is our Dallas Cowboy expert. And I use that term loosely, but it is what it is. But that being said,
I'm a realist.
And I appreciate that. My brother made the statement, and I wish I could take credit for it. He says I'm like a far right liberal, yeah, with my opinion about my Jags. And I listen, and I'm gonna be tough on my Jags, and because I want to see them win, because I know what they got going for them, and right now they're not showing it. And that defense no showed on Monday Night Football. Oh God, I can't tell you. And I wasn't even, because a lot of times when I watch the Jaguars, I get mad at the quarterback. His name slipped on my mind. I'll remember soon. But I sit there, well, he reminds me of a of a woman doll. I mean, with his hair and everything, he reminds me of a woman doll. But I mean, this guy, he just ticks me off. He's a hard watch. He makes sometimes still makes those mental mistakes but he also threaded a needle last week. I'm like, holy crap, man, if this guy could do this on a consistent level, he's going to be hard to stop. But what ended up happening, that defense was just god awful through the whole damn game. And I found myself yelling at the defense more than I did the offense. But going to the New England game last week on this show, I talked about it. I said, I'll pick the Steelers this week, but if they lose that game, I'm worried about what was going to happen, even though they were at home when New England came into town. And I was worried about it because of the fact of where they are as a franchise and everybody's mentality right now. So right now, Mike Tomlin is going to have to do one hell of a coaching job for the Steelers to make it into the playoffs. These last two games almost put them to where it might be out of reach. Numbers will work still. They're not out of contention, unlike the Carolina Panthers, who are finally eliminated out of playoff contention at 1-11. Good God. But anyway, here's where Mike Tomlin will I don't want to say save his job. He's not going anywhere. I mean, he's been there for he's been there since 2007. So do the math, 16 years. So he's been there for 16 years, and the guy's never had a losing season. I don't even think he might not even end up with a losing season this year, but he's going to have to turn that franchise around. He's going to have to turn the mentality around. He's going to have to change the culture it's not even a culture. What this is like a plague that went into their locker room, and they got to get it out, and they got to figure it out, and they got to get it all out, not just a little. They got to get it all out. And like you said, there's only so many games left in this season to get that turned around.
You're right. And like baseball, where you have 100 games and 160 games and enough time to really work out all the kinks. I mean, you got. I mean, hell, even college football. I mean, their schedule's limited, and every loss counts. So as far as where you're going to be in the final say of it, which hey, that's sports for you. And honestly, I'm more surprised, and I give credits to the Steelers. Do not fire head coaches. They let them. They get them to the point where we're not going to renew your contract, and maybe you're done. But or that coach just sits there and burns the last candle they can and go, I'm done.
Yes.
I mean, because I remember Chuck Nolan his last couple of years, they were begging him to be fired. But, Rooney was like, no, I can't. I don't do that. I mean, he'll retire to and I wish Jerry Jones could have done that. But then again, like, we run into the whole argument: did he fire Jimmy, or did Jimmy want to leave? Then we run into the whole Barry Switzer thing, and it's a whole laundry list of coaches the Cowboys have had with no success. So obviously, to get to where we're at now with them, and they're showing signs that they could be something okay. But then again, you go into the argument, well, they never beat anybody.
Of course,
it's. I mean, there's so much that goes on with this to where, I hate the coaching carousel more than anybody, because I know it's worse in college football too, because a coach can sign for a 3-year, $50 million deal with say Arizona State, which will never happen, but don't hear me out. And then all of a sudden here comes Notre Dame sitting going, well, we'll match it. So we'll give you $75 million for 2 years. Oh shit, hell, Arizona State, I'm going Notre Dame. So
Yep.
and there's no penalty for that. That's why I don't get it.
Right.
I mean,
the idea of what the NFL is today. Okay, depending on the team, it's about knee jerk. Okay, and the Pittsburgh Steelers have never been a knee jerk organization, franchise, whatever you want to call it. Okay,
right?
the storied franchises will hang. Now, as far as Tomlin is concerned, at least according to this, his contract was extended past this summer and expires at the end of the 2024 season. So they're going to keep him basically, but that was all before the problems that they're having. And oh, by the way, it's good to see that. I was worried that we might have seen a splat on the sidewalk somewhere in Brooklyn off of a ledge that this guy might have been jumping. Sucker. Yes, I was worried about him all week because I was worried about whether or not I would be able to see him again. And I don't know. He might. I don't know if he has any bags around the house or what. But can we dig it, sucker? I can always dig the best smile on the internet. It's still there. I'm glad to know. And look at this. He can't even show his face. It is that bad. And so. I'm actually this. I will say this. I wouldn't have been surprised if he wouldn't be here, but I'm glad he is here. So, good morning, Mr. Bryce from Brooklyn. How are you? Okay? Did you get your meds this morning? That's what.
You want to lead off with that?
No, well, he won't smile. I would normally adore his smile, but
what's he got to smile for? He's lost 2 games in a row. He's pissed. Bro, I got you, man. I mean, this was god awful past Thursday.
So the question is, and I'll present it in the opinion of Bryce in Brooklyn. Are the Pittsburgh Steelers gonna find a way to dig into the playoffs? Maybe be one and done, but I mean, those 2 games, man. One of those games would have been wonderful to have going towards the playoffs, and they lost them both. So the question is, are your Pittsburgh Steelers going to, scratch into the playoffs? If he didn't sigh, I thought maybe his mic would have been on mute. I feel for you. I'm a Jaguar fan, so I feel for you.
I don't have a lot of time this morning. I just wanted to jump on because I don't run and hide.
And I appreciate that.
Those 2 losses.
Okay. I'm glad he's going for it. Thank you so much. You're going right where I thought you would go, even before you finish it.
Sonny, shut up. Let him talk.
No. Go ahead.
Those 2 losses were the 2 worst losses of Mike Tomlin's career.
Yes. And they were, you put it online. I thought you were going to go there. Those 2 losses are.
I'm not calling for it, but they are fireable offenses.
That's what I was expecting to hear.
Those 2 losses are fireable offenses. Sonny Clark.
The question is who should be fired? That was my question. I didn't type it. I was going to, because I was going to ask you if you came on. Who are the people that comment was aimed at?
So it was aimed at Mike Tomlin. Those two losses, like I said, not calling for Mike Tomlin to be fired. I've never been part of the fire Tomlin crew. I'm acknowledging that those 2 losses, head coaches have been fired for less.
What?
Those 2 losses are 2 fireable offenses. I was very clear when I said it.
Yes, you were. Yes.
Sonny Clark, Podfather. The Pittsburgh Steelers will not be turning it around this season. I actually agree with Stephen A. Smith in the sense that the team is demoralized. You can call it whatever you want to call it. You can call it the Matt Canada experience, Matt Canada effect. Here's what I think happened. I think they hired Matt Canada in 2001. I think he literally copied and pasted his college offense and thought, I'm going to run my stuff in the pros. It has been a disaster. They have no answers systemically for that offense.
They did not.
It would take a Herculean effort from these two play callers to turn it around, and they just don't have it. The plays are what the plays are. And when there are plays to be made, they can't make them. The offense has no confidence. It plays with no rhythm. It plays with no belief that it's going to do well. And the defense, good defense, but it's not a great defense. They are also, from a coaching standpoint, slow to adjust. They're getting backups like Michael Walker and KZ are getting picked on. They don't adjust. They just keep rolling it out there for the same, particularly for Michael Walker in coverage. He's been god-awful. He has been literally picked on in 2 games. You can't cover anybody. But yet they keep rolling him out there. It has been a derelict of duty in the coaching the last 2 weeks.
Yes.
On both sides of the ball. And it starts with Mike Tomlin. The 4th down calls were horrendous. They can't even, but it just goes to show you in this offense, they have no confidence in anything. They can't find anything to do. And then lastly, if you put Mitch Trubisky in at this point, you just concede the game. He can't read it. He is a one-read, one-trick pony quarterback. I thought in the beginning, of his career, there were some things you could have built on if the Bears would have built a strong running game and had him built off the play action. But right now, he hasn't progressed at all. It's not about him being aggressive. He doesn't see the field. He can't read defenses. He has bad mechanics, bad fundamentals. I think he has bad football IQ. I don't believe he needs to be playing in the NFL.
I fully agree.
I think there are a select few teams that he could be a backup for, ones that have a system that is going to put everything in place for him to use his legs and make a couple throws, to make a couple plays for you. Places like San Francisco, even places like Detroit that are committed to just committed to the run game and have been able to make Jared Goff a high-level kind of game manager type of guy, even though I don't believe in him either. But I think, he could play for Los Angeles with Sean McVay, who would put him in the right scheme and allow him to just make a couple throws and run with his legs. But that's it. He can't. There's so many teams that guy can't play for because he can't get.
Well, think about this. He was with what's his nose up in Buffalo as a backup before he went to
that offense. That offense. The reason why he can't play in that offense is because that offense is quarterback driven. That offense is built on Josh Allen and Josh Allen alone making plays, dictating the defenses. Mitch Trubisky cannot play in a system like that because
that's what I'm saying. Since he couldn't get it up there in Buffalo, what made anybody think in reality that he can do it anywhere else? I don't even think Mitchell Trubisky might have played himself out of the NFL this past game. Why would anybody get him? I'd much rather go get a quarterback coming out of college that didn't get drafted before I'm going to get him. I already know what I'm going to get with Maserati Trubisky. You might as well go with something that you don't know, and maybe you'll get lucky and hit on it. But you already know who Mitchell Trubisky is, and I don't know. And if they keep him next year, Bryce, you better just go down to the facility, grab up Mike Tomlin, and start strangling him, because that would be a Tomlin move in reality to keep a Mitchell Trubisky. So, where's this team go? Forget about that now. Now, I don't know if you want to change your opinion. Kenny Pickett, can he be salvaged to move forward?
They're going to, whether he can or he can't, remains to be seen. I think putting him in this system has done a lot of damage to his progression and his.
Yes.
You have to completely, it is very clear next year, if you're going in with Pickett, which that's probably what they're going to do, you have to completely get rid of this playbook. And you probably have to even though you like maybe some of the coaches in the right role can be effective, you've got to strip this staff down. You have to completely throw everything in this playbook away. you have to literally start from scratch. That's a tall order. So remember that I said this. While Kenny's going to probably get one more year to show it, boy, they've dug themselves a hole, and some of it's not fair to him, but some of it is being in the NFL. And when the plays were there, he wasn't seeing the field because I don't think he was coached very well to see the field. And I don't think he was coached well to get to his second and third reads, because this offense is a college offense and it does not deserve to be in the NFL. They're going to throw this whole playbook out. It's just painful to watch. I wouldn't even be surprised if Terrell, even though Mike Tomlin runs the defense, I wouldn't be surprised if Rooney told him Terrell Austin needs to go too. You just need more high-level coordinating. You need
that's Tomlin's fault.
Yeah, he needs to.
I'm going to tell you the reason why. There's a guy up in Minnesota that is just tearing it up and lighting it up on the defensive side of the ball, and they had him before he went there this year. I'm talking, of course, about Brian Flores. Brian Flores should have been the one that stayed more so than who's there now. And just more in the fact that I don't know what that relationship is. No one will ever know. But when you had a Brian Flores on your defensive side of the ball, yes, Tomlin is that defensive mind, but those two maybe not meshing together might be the reason why they're gone. But if he would still be there, would you see more success on the defensive side of the ball to where so much is not on the shoulders of a young Kenny Pickett in order to try to get them until he can improve slowly through a system to become a great quarterback?
I mean, possibly. Look, Flores, I wouldn't mind seeing Flores as the defensive coordinator. I mean, Austin was already in place. I understand why you kept him. You know, and look, if I had to weigh it out, the defense has not been obviously the main issue. But the way the offense plays and the way the team plays, you have to have elite level coordinating and elite level play. And it just hasn't been there, particularly some of the personnel issues and some of the defensive play calling and decision makings and how they choose to match up. I wouldn't mind seeing it. If Austin moved on, I wouldn't mind seeing a higher level coordinator. And Tomlin takes it back to 2007 and 8, where he manages the team, fits in and coaches wherever he is needed, and allows his coordinators to call the games and coordinate his team in a way where he can be that manager of the team and go to wherever positions he's needed to coach guys and motivate them and draw up schemes and help out in that way, but leave it to the coordinators. But this team—
that sounds like you're saying that Mike Tomlin dropped the ball on his hiring of his coordinators is what it sounds like.
I think he hasn't done a good job of bringing in the best coordinators that you can. So look, all in all, it's this. There's a lot of, there's talent on the Steelers, but there's a lot of holes. And the offense is just dragging the organization down at this point.
I fully agree. 100%.
It is a mess to the highest level. It's like that movie. We're bringing our brooms because it's a mess. I mean, it's a mess of the highest order. I don't believe Mike Tomlin will be fired. I believe he deserves every bit of criticism that's come his way now. And I believe that seat is getting hotter. Look, in Pittsburgh, the standard is Super Bowls.
Yes.
It's 11 playoff games. Mike Tomlin is 3-8. That is not lost on me. And in his 17 years, while I think he is an elite coach, the reality is they've been to the playoff. They've had 4 years where they've been to the playoffs.
Yep.
The other ones, they haven't. So so even the winning in the regular season and the consistency, that after a while, because the standard is the standard, which is Super Bowls, it's not about just getting to a winning season. And Mike Tomlin's seat is getting hotter, and deservedly so. I do not believe they will fire Mike Tomlin after this year. I think he will coach next year.
Run out the contract.
They might wait to give him an extension, or he might get a 1-year extension because they want to see what he does. He has earned it, though. He's earned every bit of the place he's in. His misloyalty to Matt Canada has sped up and warmed up his seat.
Trey.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you would ask Bryce a compelling question
Well,
about the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, first of all, you give him the floor to talk about it, and you're talking over him. So I think that was kind of rude on your part, really.
I throw that in. Don't worry about that. Shut up.
You won't let the man have his own say. You got to speak over because you got to be the sound of your own voice. Bro, look, I feel bad for him. Let me ask you this, Bryce. I was thinking about this earlier. 17 years as a head football coach for one team. He's got a Super Bowl. He's been to two of them. One as an assistant. Is he a Hall of Famer?
I believe Mike Tomlin is.
I do.
I believe Mike Tomlin is a Hall of Fame coach. I would put him. I think his resume. I think he's done enough to get into the Hall of Fame. Now, that being said, which is the name of the show, Podfather, I think too, him getting another Super Bowl would really solidify it. But right now, Cowher's in the Hall of Fame, and I would say if Cowher's in the Hall of Fame, so should Mike Tomlin. I think their careers have a lot of similarities to it. Obviously, Bill Cowher right now has a better record in the postseason, but Mike Tomlin has been a top 5 coach for the Steelers. But his warts are his warts, and his warts are getting bigger.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was asking because Bill Cowher, he's in the Hall of Fame for clearly what he did with Pittsburgh, but also he has a TV presence too with the networks and everything else. So that helps. That helps kind of push a little bit of that too. Tomlin doesn't have that just yet. So I mean, like if it all ended for him today, they said, "Look, we're not going to fire you because we don't fire coaches here in Pittsburgh, like head coaches for that matter." But we're going to have you step aside for us, please, and just go do your own thing. My question is, if he would say, "Okay, I'm done," and I put 17 years in, that's name another coach that's done 17 years with one team. I mean, the list is few and far between these days.
Yeah.
Very.
Do you sit there and go, "Well, Hall of Fame selection time, Mike Tomlin, is he in?" Because the Super Bowl does matter. And the fact that he's went to 2, one as assistant, one as a head coach is cool. But he's had more misses than hits. And when it comes to seasons, and once again, it's like in baseball. We cheer for a ball player that hits less than 50%.
Right, 300.
So it's like we're awarding subpar performances, but it's a long season, it's a long career, it's a long this, a long that. You get what you get. So, who's got the better of those numbers for the time that we put you in there for? So, I would put Tomlin in. I'm not going to lie. I would. I think he's done a lot for Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh, he was the first ever black head coach for Pittsburgh, and clearly he's had success. That's a thing still in the NFL to this day. Why, I have no idea, but it's still a thing. I definitely think he would go. I feel bad for you because I've had years like this as a Cowboys fan. Oh my God. I've had it where you've had a little bit of hope and it's taken away from you just like that, whether through an injury or just through bad coaching or through just whatever. And then you are Jason Garretted press conference to death over 3. We have 3. We have all 3 phases, or this or that. You get all that crap. Trust me, I've been there, done that. Don't want to buy the t-shirt because it sucks. I got my own t-shirt. I got my own t-shirt. Don't need a shirt that says other shit. So look, I'm for you, bro. For Zeke to have the monster game he had in that game is unreal. I'm glad I have him on my fantasy team because I had no other. As much as I've lost my fantasy year this year, I went out with a bang with him. So I get to keep my last place trophy. So that's nice. So
get to keep it.
I get to keep it because I think I'm the first ever 2-time Shammy Award winner. So, but I will say this: there's a little league I'm in called the bragging rights thing, and apparently,
he's 2 points up on me, 1 on Cuervo. So I gotta give him his props. The guy's in first place. I'm giving his props.
To take the black dye and put it in the beard. It's gonna be awesome.
No, I thought I was just doing it like Hogan did it.
No. You can do the blonde. You can do the in your case white. the white Hogan Fu Manchu, then the black dye around the beard.
Oh, okay, got it. All right.
Yeah, we're gonna Scott Steiner your ass on up.
That's why I got to figure out how to win, because I sure in the hell don't want to do that. Even though I work from home, but I don't know if I'd want to see it for very long. So there you go.
Hey, it's not for a year. Unlike me having to grow my hair out for a full year.
Right. Oh no, we decided a month, right? That's what we decided.
A month.
Right?
Okay, I can do a month. Yeah.
Okay.
A year.
Okay. That's what I thought. We could make it lower if you wanted to, but
this is
anyway.
This is 1 weekend right now. I'm already kind of pissed at it.
Listen, guys,
let me get him before he's got to get out. Just really quick. All right, I get the opportunity to kind of. I'm not going to pick on my Jaguars, but the timing of this injury with the games that are coming up right now for the Jaguars, I'm worried about my Jacksonville Jaguars, because it's not the quarterback that I'm actually worried about. I'm worried about that defense, because they were in the game they had no business being in regardless, and it wasn't the quarterback's fault. It was obviously the defense that no-showed up against the Cincinnati Bengals, and they lost that game on Monday night. But that being said, I wanted to, and I'm not even going to give an opinion on the Jaguars until after today. So what do you think about the Jacksonville Jaguars and their chances of making the playoffs? And if and when they make the playoffs, where do you think they'll go?
So before I get out of here, Sonny, look, if Trevor Lawrence is out or for an extended period of time, obviously that's gonna be tough. I still think the Jaguars can obviously win the division. I think they can win a playoff game because they have a very good head coach. I think Doug Peterson is a good quality coach. And in the AFC, after the top teams, I think there are some teams that can be had. So that's my answer to that. I think Trevor Lawrence will be fine. Is he out for today?
That's what I'm looking at right now to find out. It says planning Trevor Lawrence to start against the Browns.
Yeah, I mean, if he plays today, they beat the Browns. So I think they beat the Browns. The Jaguars are in a nice place. I think the Jaguars can definitely look. They won a playoff game last year. I think they can win one this year. Are they ready to take that next step? I guess we'll see. But they play fast. They're an exciting team. They definitely play fast on offense. They can play in a hurry, and they do have a running back that can home run you. So we'll see. But yeah, I still think the Jaguars win this division, and they can win a playoff game. All right, guys, I got to get out of here, but.
See you, buddy.
Right, so it's good to see you. Thanks for showing up. I'm glad to see you more so than the suicide watch. I'm glad I can take you off the suicide watch.
Cuervo is somewhere laughing hysterically at Maserati Mitch.
He's going to be. By the way, he's going to be at the Charger game today. Broncos and Chargers. He's going to be at the game today. So I don't think we're going to get him today.
I hope he enjoys himself. All right, fellas.
Good to see you, Bryce, from Brooklyn. I got to switch that out. Sorry about that. And go to there. All right. Always good to see Bryce. I'm glad he's okay. I'm glad he fit. And hey, you want to talk about a realistic look at your football team? Mm-hmm. He kind of put it out there.
He did.
And interestingly enough, so. Let's see here. We're at 9:49. That means we're about 20 minutes late. Of course, we had Bryce on for 20 minutes. We're going to jump right into the games and talk about the games that are up on.
Let's go and talk about the Jacksonville and Cleveland game, because he just mentioned the thing about today.
I want to wait for Obi. Obi's going to be in a little bit later. So I was hoping they'd be here together, but Obi should be here, and we'll talk Browns and Jaguars. Jaguars on the road, by the way. So, but and as much as you don't want to talk about the games that you don't think that are worth a snot, we're going to, because that's just what I do and what we do on this show. And there's one that is horrible to sit there and watch today, and that's Tampa Bay is on the road against the Atlanta Falcons. And as much as you want to just knee jerk this idea, I'm really interested in your opinion on this game, because Last week you knee jerked Atlanta, and you ended up being correct. I was on the Jets. I thought the Jets defense would bother them enough to where they can maybe score 17, 20 points and win the game. That didn't happen for the Jets. Atlanta Falcons win last week. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, just a different football team than the Jets. What's your take on Tampa Bay on the road taking on the Atlanta Falcons?
I always say the word momentum, right?
Yes.
I think Atlanta's got some momentum right now. Tampa Bay has not been able to find any momentum at all this year. That's a big issue.
Didn't they win last week?
Then they can win. They can win. It don't mean they got any momentum. I mean,
okay.
I'm saying Atlanta's figuring themselves out. Okay. Tampa Bay has not even bothered to start trying to figure out who they are yet because
I get it.
Quarterback. So it's in Atlanta, and got a live crowd in Atlanta. Having been an Atlanta resident for a good 6 months when I was a baby. I don't know if that counts or not.
Something like that.
But, I mean, I'm taking full credit now. No, but I was there for the Steve Barkowski years. But anyway, yeah, give me Atlanta on that one because I think while we're not a huge fan of Desmond Ridder, I think he's finding a comfort spot. That's important. Okay. I think the team is getting more comfortable with him. Sometimes it takes a long time for the marriage to work. I mean, sometimes it takes a few losses to understand what works and what doesn't work. Not saying they're going to blow out Tampa Bay because it's going to be a nail biter. It's going to be a 3-point game, I think. But I think that momentum swings to Atlanta because they got the home field advantage.
Well, they are at home, and so the home field advantage. By the way, the best concessions in the NFL for price-wise are concerned are Atlanta, and so they fill it up, and you can buy a beer in reality in Atlanta Stadium for $6. Let me tell you something. I don't think there are too many stadiums out there, and their concessions are reasonable. So that's always good. That means they're going to have a full house because it's reasonable price for stuff. So, and not only that. I don't know if Desmond Ridder is going to be the future of this football team. I mean, they're putting a lot on his plate, putting a lot on his shoulders to try to figure out. And then you get the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming into that. Mm-hmm. When you got a Baker Mayfield, which, by the way, I still got a little trust in him, but you got the wide receivers on this football team, and for some reason, they don't want to catch the ball at times. Now, Evans, over 1,000 yards. It's like his 11th in a row or some kind of thing or whatever it is. Hey, congratulations. I'm not impressed. Okay. All right. And the reason why I'm not impressed, they haven't won a Super Bowl without Tom Brady with him on that football team. So just kind of going that route. Guy's a superstar. Don't get me wrong. But the chemistry, unfortunately, is not there. And parts of me don't want to blame Baker Mayfield. Okay. Parts of me does. Okay. And at the same time, when I look at the 49ers all around as far as personnel, the better team is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers based upon personnel on paper. But as old Randy Galloway will say, is you got to watch the damn games. And especially in the Baker Mayfield, trying to get his guys to catch them. Why they don't want to catch them a ball from Baker Mayfield, I don't know. I don't know why Baker has got to be more of a negative focus, if and when these guys are dropping balls when they shouldn't be. And it seems like he's the one that's getting more of the focus when the quarterback just needs to get the ball to them. So I'll throw that out to you. Why do you think that Baker Mayfield is unfortunately the guy that is the scapegoat regarding where Tampa Bay is today?
I think because this is an unfair assessment for anybody who's at this level. When you excelled at the college level, at the way that he did, but you did it in an arrogant way to where you made the ESPN highlights about you being the Billy Badass you think you are. Then you come into the league and you go to the Browns and you get kind of shown what the NFL is like and how you're at the doorstop team of the league, and you get kicked around for quite a while. I give him credit. He's got his head up high. He's like saying, "Look, that's what it is. I'm going to do the best I can." Yada yada. But he he's going to run into that problem where he's going to be hit so damn many times. He won't know how to to shit or wind his watch. I mean, look.
I
feel
love
bad
that
for
one. Shit or wind to watch. I like that.
I mean, look, I feel bad for the guy. Okay, he took over an impossible situation.
Mm-hmm.
We've had it here in Dallas. You got a legendary quarterback. He retires. Next man up is Quincy Carter. Good luck with all that. I mean, it happens. Baker Mayfield is a lot better than Quincy Carter for sure. But I think he has good leadership skills. The problem is they had the GOAT. Now here's a guy, not quite the GOAT, being your leader, and like, does the whole team? Not saying the whole team was there when Brady was there, but does the whole team sit there and look at him and go, "Really? This is the guy that
he ain't the GOAT."
This is the big double check guy in college football. Really? Do we care about that? I mean, look, not his fault, but it is his fault. I mean, he's got a lot of talent. He can throw the ball. He can run an offense. But Tampa Bay is not that place for him. And
I don't know how couldn't. I don't know how couldn't.
He's making the best of a situation that he can't get out of right now.
Well, see, I think part of that has to go with the team not. Remember what this guy did for Cleveland, okay? He got into the playoffs and they hadn't sniffed the playoffs for how many years? And yes, he was arrogant about it. Let's be honest. And I'll even put that on him. Personally, I can't stand the guy, except when he did his commercials. He just always had me chuckling. But as far as his arrogance and things of that sort, that normally pisses me off. Guess what? It still does. I haven't changed my opinion about that. That having been said, of course, that's the name of the show. When you are Baker Mayfield and you got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and the other guy, the other cat, I can't remember. He's got a 1-2-3 punch better than most in the NFL. And he's delivering the ball. They're not catching it. And that goes not to Baker Mayfield, even though they may have a problem with them. They got to catch the damn ball. So when you watch the damn game, you're asking, why are they doing this more so than anything? Listen, in this division of football, they should be pounding everybody and winning this division. Now, it's such a bad division, you don't know who's going to end up coming out of it and getting that one home field game in the playoffs that you'll get as a wild card. Mm-hmm. And we don't even know if it's going to be Tampa, who it's going to be in this division. So I think there's a lot of stuff going on as far as that the team is concerned. Now, when you flip that really quick and you go to Atlanta, it's a little bit different atmosphere that's going on. You talked about momentum, and you're right that there's a different kind of momentum that should be going on, and they're doing pretty good.
And also, the expectations are so low in Atlanta right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're so low.
Absolutely.
If they win, the city's doing great. If they lose, we'll get them next time. I mean, but Tampa Bay, once again, you were just in the Super Bowl not too long ago.
Yes.
And those expectations, why they're still there, I have no idea, because look at the quarterback is. But, look, I feel bad for Baker Mayfield. Once again, his commercials that he did with the NFL in his first year when he pretty much ran Cleveland Stadium, awesome. But
those were funny.
The thing is, he's got a personality. He's got something to make himself an analyst down the road, and maybe that's what he's playing for right now. It's like, do I go to Fox or I go to CBS? I don't know. So I mean, look, I like Baker Mayfield personally, because I think he has that swagger about him that a lot of quarterbacks need. His problem is that he hasn't won. That's right. The problem. So, like, you can talk big, but if you're a 500 guy, shut up. All right. And that's the nature of the beast. I mean, you can't beat Jason Garrett and say, we got the greatest team in the world. Yeah, but 8-8. Yeah, well, we were good half the year. I mean, exactly. You can't do that. So, but give me Atlanta on this one, though, like I said.
Yeah, I'm still up in the air on that one, and I'm hoping that somebody will come in and change. Well, right now, Let me check my picks. I got it filled out but I'm still up in the air on it. In the picks, I actually am on Tampa Bay. I'm on Tampa Bay. They're actually a 2-point dog at So, but more so, I just think that this game right here, and this is just me, and I listen. I know how to be wrong on this show. I've been doing it for 14 years.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, no kidding, right? If this is the game that Baker Mayfield should win. And every time that I went against Baker in these type of games, I lost. This is a game that now I don't know. And let me just pull this up here because it's somewhat relevant. Hold on. That's what it is. Okay. The Buccaneers, if they want to stay within contention within this division, and it's a bad division because you got a 6-6 Atlanta Falcon team leading the division right now, and right behind them are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 5-7. All right, so they get this win, they end up both 6-7. Buccaneers will be up on top in this division. The Buccaneers should be the team that comes out of this division in reality, based upon paper. We talk about paper all day long. Whether paper shows up on Sundays all the time, that's always a question. So I think as of right now, I'm going to stay unless I hear from Cuervo or anybody else who comes in on the show. If you want, by the way, if you want to come in and shoot me a message, we'll bring you on. Shoot, why not? I would love to hear other people's opinion on this one. Right now, I'm going to hang out with Tampa Bay on this pick. We'll see what ends up happening. I hate this because if I lose this, I end up 3 behind you, which makes me even more mad. He's going, man, I'm going to be screaming for those Atlanta Falcon fans and Hulk Hogan. He's got the Hulk. Yes, we got to bet I do the Hulk Hogan, bad painting of the beard. Oh my God. Anyway.
I mean, you already talked too much already. I mean, all you have to do is mix in a. Let me tell you something, brother.
And speaking of that, by the way, there's a guy who I remember back in the heyday of the 90s, and I think I was just being lazy or something. I was living with Obi for a while. I think I was being lazy. I don't know what it was, but I had a job, but I just think I was lazy. But anyway, we'll bring him on in. He is, hey, I don't know. Obi-Wan, always good to see. Oh, hey, I got to change the frame so I can see your face. Wait, there it is. How you doing, Obes? Good to see you.
How's it going?
Doing good. Hey, before we get to the reason why you're here, and I know you don't have a lot of time, Bryce already has been in and gone. We're glad he's alive. I was worried about suicide watch for him.
Was he in for like a minute or something?
Well, he was on for about 20 minutes. He had to bail. He wanted to fess up that his team sucks. Pretty much, basically.
So you started kind of at 8 o'clock.
No, are you on California time?
I'm at 9 o'clock right here, right now.
You're 9. Yeah. You're not. Yeah. Okay, so you're on Mountain time. So we start at 8 your time. So
I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. I was trying to get on with.
You're late. But no, I'm glad you're here. But I want to talk about this because this guy is I won't say he's your guy, but he used to be your guy. Baker Mayfield taking on the Atlanta Falcons in Atlanta. This is a tough ass game to pick in reality on who you want to win this game. Well, you might want a team, but who's actually going to win it? Knowing Baker Mayfield as much as you do, kind of coming in, to relieve the GOAT and the expectations, like Trey said, they're still there. A Super Bowl. Why they would be with Baker, I don't know. Maybe it's because of paper. Maybe it's because I think Todd Bowles is the problem in reality in Tampa Bay. But when you're looking at Tampa Bay and Atlanta, what are you looking at in this game as far as who might win and why?
I'm for this game, as you said, it was hard to pick this game. I'm not a fan of Baker Mayfield, but it seems like every time that I pick against Baker Mayfield, he wins. Somehow he finds a way to bring that team and win. So with
He did
knowing
that to me when he was a Brown. I don't know if you remember the picks every time I went against that bastard. Anyway,
So I went ahead and I looked at this game. I was like, okay, I guess I'm just gonna go with the home team, home field advantage. You know, the Falcons. I think they got probably one of the best young running backs in John Robinson. That dude's a stud. When
he
he's
is
not
a
hurt.
stud.
So hey, I'm going. In our pick'em, I picked the Falcons to win, but I would not be surprised that if Tampa Bay somehow, some way finds a way to win this game.
See, and that's the reason, because I almost knee jerked this one to the Atlanta Falcons. And then I thought about exactly what you were talking about, and those games when I bet against him. It wasn't last year; it was the year before. Every time I bet against this guy, they ended up winning. I went over whenever I bet against Baker Mayfield. Now I'm not doing great this year, but I've got a couple of wins with him when I picked against him. I'm going to actually pick him. I mean, God, you got Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. Mike Evans over 1,000 yards again. Not that. Listen, okay. I know I'm horrible. I know I'm not impressed with 1,000 yards. I'm just not. 12, 13. Okay, yeah, you grabbed up my attention. But Mike Evans seems to be able to do it all the time, but yet can't do anything with it unless they have the GOAT on the football team. So that being said, that seems to be the problem in reality too. The relationships between him, Chris Godwin, and Baker Mayfield, it's just not there, and I don't understand why.
It's chemistry. It's about chemistry.
Yeah.
You know, and they don't have it, and so it's too inconsistent to week in, week out. Oh, I feel confident the Buccaneers are going to win this game.
Yep. Think about this also.
Look at the chemistry between the Texans quarterback and C.J. Stroud and his boys right now.
Yes.
C.J. Stroud is lighting it up. By the way, if you haven't gotten that game or you have, I picked the Jets to win this game. This is an upset.
Right.
The Jets defense is going to shut down Houston. I'm telling you that right now.
Well, they did such a great job last week. I mean, when I picked them, to win. Yeah, where's the offense going to come from? But we'll talk about that in a moment. No, we haven't covered that game. But that being said, just think about the NFC South. Okay, there's 4 teams. One's out of contention finally. But even the Saints at 5-7 are 1 game behind in reality within that division. So are the Buccaneers. You want to talk about a crapshoot of those 3 teams on who's going to win the division? You can sit and look at the schedule all day long, but what's going to end up happening? One of these teams are going to have to try to separate. Now, I'm just going to say it. Todd Bowles needs to go. If you're a Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan, you want a different coach. Todd Bowles hasn't been able to do anything as a head coach. Just look what he did in New York as the Jets guy. He needs to stay the coordinator and do his job, not have to be the guy that watches the whole thing. And I think that's part of the problem in Tampa Bay. But I'm going to take I don't want to bet against him. I don't want to bet against Baker today. I just, in these games like this, I just won't do it. But that being said, of course, that's the name of this show, Podfather. Okay, I know you're officially on the Falcons. Did anything that Obi say make you want to change your mind and go with the Buccaneers?
No.
Okay, I'm just checking it. I do remember you made your pick. I actually remembered that he made this pick in this game. Normally I forget. So who are you actually going to officially pick in this game? Oh, you said Atlanta. So, but is that your actual pick? Okay, I didn't know if you were, kind of doing it and then come back and say, but you're going Atlanta. Now, the reason why Obi-Wan is with us today, okay, comes to this one right here.
Yep.
This one right here. Notice how I did the outline in the Jaguars and put your Browns stadium there. So, we got both colors going on.
There you go.
We are going head to head this week as the Jaguars are taking on the Browns. And really quick on this, by the way, just to let everybody know, Trevor Lawrence is actually reported to be playing in this game after the Monday.
Where'd you hear that?
I
I heard he was still. It was a game time decision.
It says right here, sources from ESPN, Jaguars are planning for Trevor Lawrence to start against the Browns. And listen, listen, I told you the Jaguars were pretenders, okay? And that was with Trevor Lawrence being 100%. Okay, I said that. Remember, you go back and I said they're pretenders. I don't think they're a real threat. If Trevor Lawrence was healthy, I would be all over the Jaguars today. Why? Because they're not at home. Which, by the way, just because of the injury, they still haven't won a game at home, for God's sake, unless they were in freaking what country? Whatever the hell country they're in.
Yeah.
So Jaguars couldn't bring it home, unfortunately, and the unfortunate injury is there. And I don't know. The injury, the way he went down and how he went down, I can't believe the guy's even walking without a boot in reality. He probably is whenever no one's watching, but how he's actually going to go out there and start, I'm going to wonder myself how effective this guy is going to be. And not only that, Obi, I hate to admit this, but your Brown defense is the best in the NFL. It's too bad they don't have but they're falling on the fact that they don't even have a quarterback either now. And that's with Trevor Lawrence. I'm saying he's not a quarterback because he is an injured quarterback. You know what that is to a Browns defense? That's like blood in the water with a shark, for God's sake.
That's chump. That's some chump right there.
They're gonna be all over him today. And I as far as now, do I want my Jaguars to win? Let me just be on record and say yes. I don't think they have a snowball chance in hell win this football game. And I don't need who's quarterbacking your football team this week?
I think it could be DTR. I think it could be DTR.
Wait, hold on.
Concussion protocol. He was
okay. So it's not. So Flacco's not going to start this game.
I was seeing that DTR was removed from the concussion protocol,
right?
And that Flacco was now being back with the practice squad. That's what I read earlier this week.
Let's find out what the Ian Rappaport is expecting. Okay, so I'm glad Ian Rappaport is reporting as of 5 hours ago that Flacco is expected to start for the Browns.
Okay. All right.
So, well, no, that changes because if it's DTR, I would flip it. I'd flip it to the Jaguars. I'm telling you right now, I'm not a fan of DTR. He sucks. Okay, yeah, I said it. And anybody wants Sonny Clark 24 at gmail.com. DTR sucks, and you should be glad that it's Flacco. Okay, and Flacco's not that much better, but he's got that much more experience in reality. So that being said, I'll throw it over to Mr. Trey Mack, the original offshoot. What's your take on Jaguars and Browns today?
Browns defense destroys the Jaguars offense, and then it'll be a low scoring game, but it'll definitely be one where whether it's Lawrence or Beathard or whoever the quarterback's going to be, it won't be enough for Jacksonville today at all.
And the Browns,
I don't care who the quarterback is. I don't care. I don't care who the quarterback for the Browns is. All I got to do is run the ball. That's all I got to do.
Run the damn ball, which brings in Kareem Hunt and the guy who can run the damn ball. If they give him the opportunities, they got to give the guy the opportunities. He's not the guy who's injured. His name slipped from my mind. He's not that guy. He's not that. He's a slasher. Nick Chubb. He's not Nick Chubb. He's a slasher. So you need to give him the good plays for a slasher to work. The Browns also, they go ahead, reach a 3-year agreement, $36 million extension $23 million in guaranteed with their safety Grant DePaul this week. That is a good thing for him. He's going to be happy. And listen, when you sign a contract like that, you usually have a pretty damn good game. So watch out for him. He might be making plays this week, but it is Joe Flacco. And I just think that defense is going to be too much. I mean, we can sit there. Listen, the defense cost them that game on Monday Night Football, even with Trevor Lawrence going down, getting hurt. That defense for the Jaguars no-showed or non-existent or wasn't good on paper as they supposedly should be. Whatever excuse you want to make for him. But when you got a guy, I can't even remember the guy's name, just light you up on the defense. Yeah, whoever that dude.
Brownie.
Yeah, Brownie. This dude lit up the Jaguar defense. And it wasn't Trevor Lawrence's fault in reality. This was from start to finish in this one game. Normally a Jaguar defense is pretty stout. Not going to, man, Brown. But then again, think about this, and I'll throw this one back to you. He just went ahead and gave him what the defense is going to give him. And listen, Browning and Flacco, they might not be the same quarterback at all, but I'd take Flacco right now over Browning, regardless of what's going on. Just imagine what Flacco can do with his NFL IQ, unlike Browning, who doesn't really have an NFL IQ, and they just went out and stomped all over the Jaguar defense.
Jaguars defense looked silly on Monday night.
Oh,
Browning
God.
lit them up in the last couple of drives. It was like,
Yes.
what are you guys? The receivers were making them run around in circles. It was like, what are you guys doing?
Exactly.
It's just hilarious. So
A lot of
but
cursing going on Monday night
gave,
in my home.
I don't know if you gave that question to the Podfather. I don't know. He decided, I guess, to not say anything because, hey, silence speaks loud.
Look at the confused look. Wait, you confused the Podfather. He normally looks confused all the time, but it's pretty noticeable. What are you confused about there, Podfather?
What was the question again?
You wanted to know what you thought of the Jaguars defense on Monday night.
I mean, from what I saw of it, they got lit up.
They did.
And quite frankly, I mean, yeah, they hung tight. They hung tight in the battle of two backup quarterbacks playing each other. They hung in there. I give them credit where credit's due, but I ain't gonna lie. I was watching the game. First of all, I have two problems with that game. First of all, the throwback uniforms of the Bengals, the white on black or white or whatever it is.
Ugly.
Hate it.
I love it.
Hate
They
it.
look like they're in prison.
So, but it just looks so badass.
Whatever.
I'm not a fan.
I'm not a fan. But then also, the other part was they go into overtime, right?
Yeah.
I'm sitting there saying, I've never seen a tie. I know I've been alive to see ties happen. I've never actually watched a tie actually happen on TV before.
You might. I was thinking the same thing.
So I was like, and the tie wouldn't hurt me or help me really in our league. So I was like, what the hell? But what happened, and I was like, good for that kid in Cincinnati for finally getting an opportunity to actually shine a little bit. Good for him. Everybody in the league should at least have one good game that they say this is what my career was based on.
Mm-hmm.
Now
he might have two because they got the Indianapolis Colts and the wonderful Gardner Minshew going up against Browning. So that should be a real fun game to watch.
All right.
Hey, the defense is pretty good.
Yeah, but it is Gardner Minshew too. So,
Right. But, look, as I said, the Jaguars defense, if they couldn't handle the Bengals offense, which can be explosive, I ain't gonna lie, it can be explosive. This year, but it was. That's the thing. 400 yards passing almost. You only missed 5 passes. I mean, he's playing smart football. So, do the Browns have to do that to him? No, they just run the ball.
Yeah,
exactly.
Kill the clock. run the
and
ball,
just play defense the way they do.
Yeah, and play defense and shut down the boat face quarterback of Trevor Lawrence or the or whoever else they got as a quarterback.
Bedford. Oh, when he came in, I almost turned the game off. I really did. I almost turned the game. I was just like, oh my. I was thinking, oh my God, this is gonna get awful. I was just
but he hung in there. He hung in there, didn't he?
He listen. Unlike the other quarterbacks, he went and they got a field goal from him. So listen. So I had to suck that up, but still, I knew what was going to happen. Just more in the fact on listen, when you got guys who are who they are, and you can explain it away. CJ Beathard is one of them. This guy sucks. Okay, all right. I'm just going to say I don't want him to have to come into this game. Now, interestingly enough, the Jaguars are going to have to change their offense, right, Obi? I mean, listen, you're not going to get Lawrence running around getting 15 yards on a broken play. He's going to have to get rid of the football to somebody, and how? And the question is will he be able to do it without making the mistakes such as interception, ball up in the air, pick six, or whatever the case may be? I worry about that in this game because he's not going to be that same guy that will scramble out of a problem in reality if the pocket starts breaking down. So that's why I don't. I do. I want my Jags to win because they need this game in reality because their next few games. Listen, they are not easy peasy games in reality. However, they're not the same defense that the Browns are. That I see the Jaguars losing 3 in a row. This is one of the 3 that I think that they're going to lose, and so this will be the second game in a row that they would lose, although I thought they'd win last on Monday Night Football. But they're gonna lose 3, maybe 4 in a row. So we'll see what happens. But I am on the Cleveland Browns this week. So yeah, Podfather is on the Cleveland Browns. Yeah, on you. Yeah, good game. Yeah. So I'm actually surprised you're not on my ass. I'm surprised you're not on my ass for picking against them, Mr. Trey Mack. I mean, you're always ones that I would be have to worry about it. So that's it.
It's like you to pick against your team. It's okay.
Gotcha. All right. Hey, Obi, how long? I know I only had you for a little bit because I know you got planned. How long do I have you for?
Well, you have me. So my son is coming home from the store, and I need to have him. In fact, he's just right now. I need to go and help him. So I'm picking the Browns. No, I will come back, but I just need to help him.
Okay.
Unload the car. But I'm taking the Browns today. The Jaguars might have a shot because the weather is not as bad as it's supposed to be. So, but I'm taking the Browns. I'll be back, okay?
All right, he'll be back. All right, so go ahead and remove your camera. Well, he didn't do that, so I'll bring him out. Yeah, I brought him out real quick. All right, so that being said, I want to get to your Dallas Cowboys. Okay. They're playing Sunday Night Football, of course. They're in prime time. That's just listen. By the way, and in case, and I know you're not a Joe Buck fan. Wait.
No, I like Joe Buck.
Okay. Joe Buck on YouTube has got a show called Undeniable.
I watched it.
And he interviewed Jerry Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually believed what I heard from Jerry Jones. Mm-hmm. I actually believed it. Not only that, Jerry Jones tears up quite a bit in this interview with Joe Buck. Interestingly enough, if you haven't had the opportunity, check that one out. I did a lot of watching of documentaries yesterday and interviews. And Joe Buck, I watched a couple with Joe Buck, and one was with Jerry Jones. And I found it very interesting. It's a great story. If you don't know the story of Jerry Jones and his background to a detail from the horse's mouth, watch it. It's good. I think you will enjoy it. That being said, your Dallas Cowboys are in a dogfight here today. Mm-hmm. And I think the expectations of your Dallas Cowboys is going to come into play here today, because let's be honest, and rightfully so, the Dallas Cowboys are a damn good football team. Okay. I'll give you the little credit for the Seattle victory, because we say, well, who did they play? Well, Seattle, I'll agree to you to a certain point. At least they're not Washington. At least they're not the Giants. So at least they have somewhat of a football team that could have made the playoffs. So I'm going to give you that, as much as I will argue it at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
They're going up against a football team today that is not like any of them in reality. Now, they take the loss last week. Okay. 3 games in 14 days. That makes a difference. Plus, it was the 49ers, a totally different football team than what they're used to seeing in reality. So they got that. Now they get the quote unquote explosive offense that the Dallas Cowboys can bring in a game. Question is, based upon your perception of your Dallas Cowboys, what are your expectations against the Eagles on Sunday Night Football?
Okay. Last 5 times the Cowboys have played the Eagles at Cowboy Stadium, the Cowboys have won.
Yes.
That's just facts.
That's a fact.
Okay. They have not lost a game at home all year long. That's a fact. There is the other on the other equation. The referee calling the match today is every time he referees the Eagle game, they're 7-0. So you gotta have that as another fact that's also in there as well.
Yes.
Saying that. Not saying the referee's gonna cause it. That's bullshit. But I'm just saying it is weird how that plays itself out. Here's the thing. When you look at the Eagles' wins this year, and they've had some good wins. I'm looking at it right now. They beat the Patriots, except for Pittsburgh. Look out that window. Who else has beat the Patriots?
Right.
They beat the Vikings.
Yes.
They beat the Bucs.
Yes.
Beat the Commanders. Beat the Rams. Lost to the Jets. They beat the Dolphins. Good for them. They beat the Commanders again. They beat Dallas and Philly. They beat the Chiefs. Beat the Bills in a dogfight. But they got crushed by the Niners. Now, I look at all the wins they've had.
Right.
Against the Bills by 3, against the Chiefs by 14, by the Cowboys 5, by the Commanders 7, by the Dolphins. I was told math and not be a part of this game. 14. They see here. Bear with me here. Against the Rams, 9. 8 actually. I'm sorry. Against the Commanders, first time by 3. Against the Bucs by 14. By the Eagles 6. By the Patriots 5.
Okay.
So what am I getting at now? What am I getting at here? When they play teams that were not great, they hung in there.
Right.
And with the exception of one game of the Cowboy season this year that I can think of where things went horribly wrong, when they played a bad team, they destroyed them.
Right.
That's that momentum we talked about earlier, right? Now, both teams collectively got the shit kicked out of them by the 49ers. So that kind of tells you where the Niners are in comparison. So are the two teams that the Cowboys and the Eagles.
Okay.
Quarterback percentage wise, the better quarterback this year, number wise, is Dak. He's playing smarter. He's had more opportunities. And quite frankly, his offense is better. Offense is better. Got better receivers. He's got better tight end.
I don't think so, Tim.
Right, jackass. But anyway, defensively, Cowboys got them on defense. Am I wrong about that? Cue up your thing and laugh at me.
I'll say close. I'll say they're comparable.
Okay.
I'll say they're comparable.
So again, they're playing at home.
Mhm.
That's an advantage like no other. Didn't think
Gotcha.
I'd say that about the Cowboys this year at all, but so it's it's a pick'em game. It really is a pick'em game. It's what Sunday Night Football was meant to be. Now,
Yes, this is a good prime time game.
Shut up. Now I say that because I say that because so was the Cowboys and Niners game, and that turned out to be a shit show. So look, it's an NFC East dogfight game. It's a rivalry game. All the cards are on the table. Yes, the Eagles can have beaten teams that they've beaten as many teams that are almost successful as the Cowboys have.
Right.
So that makes them. But the thing is, the games they've won, they seem to let teams kind of stick in there for a little bit, and let the 60 minutes count for the other team as well. Cowboys have had a tendency to sit there and go, we're up. Let's put our foot on their throat and let's keep crushing them.
Yes.
And that's where I think Dallas has that psychological advantage over the Eagles. Now, can they do it to the Eagles? They got close to the last game.
Mm-hmm.
Close does not count in football. So I think they do what they did last year. Lost up there, came down here and won here.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's where Dallas has that advantage. Again, this is not Cowboy bias on my part.
No, I agree.
Because
by the way, let me interrupt you for those that don't watch the show. He's not going to pick the Cowboys just because they're the Cowboys. Yeah, I know. I'm screwed up. I should switch it back, but I'm too lazy. He is not going to pick the Dallas Cowboys just because he's a Dallas Cowboy fan. So I just wanted to insert that because not everybody might not necessarily know that. So go ahead.
No, so I think Dallas does win this game. Will it be the blowout that they've been doing? No. I mean, I think we're looking at what they did with the Chargers. Close game. Could go into overtime. If it goes into overtime, it's kind of a tricky thing. I don't like when Dallas goes into overtime because that's just way too scary for me. Right. But they got a kicker who doesn't miss. They didn't have that last year. I probably just jinxed them. But they got
that kicker's going to come into play today.
3 points are 3 points, and if you get them, you get them. They count.
Yep.
Dak has got to score in the red zone. He's been doing better the second half of the season than he did early in the first part of the season when I was there chewing his ass out.
Okay? Right.
He's got such a good connection with his tight end right now. He didn't have that before. He finds a way to drive the ball down the field and get the 8 to 9 yards he needs to get. You got to keep from the bonehead mistakes. The Eagles can cause that. That's the problem. And if the Eagles take the Cowboys crowd out of the game in the first quarter, game over.
Right.
Okay? Because that's what the Niners did. Niners took the Cowboys out of their game in the first quarter and never looked back. And so did Arizona. So the Cowboys have got to stay in the hunt. But they once they get into the lead, they put their foot on their throat and keep strangling them until they choke to death.
Yes.
That's how you beat the Eagles today. How did the Eagles beat the Cowboys today? The very same way I just explained how the Cowboys beat them.
Oh, of course.
It's whatever team blinks first is going to be the problem. And I'm not saying, okay, the Eagles scored the first points, they're going to win the game. No, it's going to go back and forth for at least 3 quarters. Then by the time we get to that fourth quarter, my game might already be decided by then. I'm going to go Cowboys only because I like the home field advantage, and they haven't lost at all this year.
So, by the way, great analysis and keeping it real. We always like to do on this show. All right, but as far as the Dallas Cowboys beating the Commanders and the Giants a few times, by big numbers, it really means
going to amount to jack squat.
Yeah,
Love that.
it's not.
Love it.
It doesn't mean. Yeah.
Jack squat.
Yeah.
Jack squat.
That's how much I want to put an emphasis on that. Now, that having been said, they did what they did and knocked them out. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles have always been a different football team than the Dallas Cowboys. When they're good, they're bad. But the difference between what we've seen today for the Dallas Cowboys, everything is there for the Dallas Cowboys, except for the fact that the Dallas Cowboys, they get flagged probably some of the most in the NFL. Okay, they're the word. By the way, I saw it, and I hope I'm not wrong. They get penalized the most. They're number 30. No, it's the second month. They're number 31 in reality, in penalties, and that's going to come into play today, regardless of the situation. And who's the best? Who's the better on not getting the flags of the two? Of course, are the Eagles. But here's the difference between those games. And yes, congratulations, blowing out a football team in the NFL. That's hard to do. Never mind doing it 3 times. So I will give credit where credit is due. But those games don't mean, in reality, what they have to do is grind out games. The Dallas Cowboys haven't proved that they can grind out a football game this year, and that's what scares me about this game, because it's such a division rivalry, and the teams are both good, unlike they suck. The Eagles.
Time out. They didn't grind out the win against the Seahawks.
Say again?
They didn't grind out the win against the Seahawks. They didn't grind out the win against the Chargers.
No, I'm talking about division games.
You're saying grinding out games. It don't matter who you're playing.
Well, okay, all right, grinding out games then within your own division. Okay, they haven't done it.
The division sucks. So look, the Giants and the Commanders, they suck. So what do? They destroyed them.
They grinded out. Okay, 2 games. Okay, I'll give you your 3. Which ones?
The Giants twice and the Commanders once already.
No, I'm talking about games where they grinded it out, not blew them out.
Oh yeah, but the thing is, on their schedule for who they've had to play, they haven't had to grind them all out. They've eliminated them earlier in the games. It's not their fault they had to play Carolina. Okay, so they played Carolina and they destroyed them in Carolina.
No, hold on. Tell me the games again where the Cowboys grinded out the wins. I'm trying to make a good point for your team. Okay.
Okay.
Who were the teams that they grinded out?
All right, shut up. All right. Jesus Christ, hate you. No, the Chargers. When we thought the Chargers were actually something, we all did, and the Seahawks, who were the only winning team the Cowboys have beaten this year. And now I can kind of question that now, but. Those are the 2 games they for surely grinded out. Now, yes, I know about the destruction they got from the Niners. I know about the chart. I know about the Cardinal game. I know their misses. I know their hits. I also know the fact that when they're lined up against a team that is not great, they destroyed them. Unlike Philadelphia, who takes on the very same teams mostly for the Giants and the Niners and the Redskins, and they squeezed them out.
Yeah, but I'll go back to that. Doesn't mean jack squat in the NFL. As far as that's concerned, why? Okay.
If you let a bad team hang around there and they have a chance, what do you say about your team?
But hold on. I get what you're saying, and hold on. Stop. You're making a valid point. But at the same time, depending upon the personnel and what's going on in a football game at that time, there are differences. Then the Eagles are those smash mouth football teams that are not always – listen, they grind out games more than the Cowboys do. Okay. They just do, okay? And it doesn't matter who it is, as you pointed out. They find a way to win football games. What I'm saying is this would be the game that would be really good for the Dallas Cowboys to grind out to do two things, okay? Number one, prove to fools like me that maybe they can go into the playoffs and go far. But more importantly, prove to the NFL they can.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this. What if, I'm not saying this is going to happen at all, okay? Because I don't think it's going to happen either. And I do think it's going to be a grind out game. I don't think it's important you've had to have had games like that before, but I think as long as you can grind it out and win, that's all that matters. Let's say Dallas has this game today, and by the fourth quarter, it is 28-14, Dallas. Okay,
probably in the fourth quarter. Okay,
okay. Let's say the Eagles can't do jack shit on the Cowboys offense and everything else, and we finish out the game 28-17, 28-21, 31. What are the deals? Dallas wins. They'd have to grind it out. They pretty much dominated the game all the way through, and then won the game regardless of how many points it was. Do you sit there and say, "Well, the Eagles weren't ready"? Because a lot of fans will.
No,
a lot of fans will go,
they will.
Well, you know what? Cowboys played at home and they got home field advantage. So yeah, whatever. Even though like I pointed out earlier, the referee we're calling the game today is the Eagles are 7-0 with this guy calling games. So, just saying.
I knew he was going to say that, Obi. I heard that one coming a mile away.
The NFL threw the stat out there. I'm just throwing out okay? It's on me. It's on them. I could have cared less about who the referee is. But clearly, I mean, if you see a face mask when there's not a face mask, or you see interference where the ball is thrown 50 feet above the receiver, yeah, I'm going to call bullshit. But then again, they would do that too if it was reversed. So it works both ways. I'm just saying, grinding out a game in a season is wear and tear on your football team.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Psychologically. Now, if you go in there and you dominate, and you play Madden football with a team on the easy level, and you're racking up points like the Cowboys have done all year long, then you know what? All you're doing is showing your dominance. And right now, like I said, it don't matter who wins this game. Because the team, and I hate to freaking say this, the team that is the team to be is the team that slaughtered both these two teams, and that's the Niners.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So it doesn't matter. I mean, you have to get to the level to where you're going to be facing the Niners one way or the other in the playoffs because that's the team you got to go through to get to the Super Bowl.
I think I agree with you.
So
as far as today is concerned,
that's what I'm saying. Going back to what I was saying, that's why the Cowboys win the games they have won, and the fashion that they've won them is showing dominance over the teams that suck. Now we have to take on a team that matters. They have to have that same mentality to go against the Eagles. Not saying they have to trample them, but they have to go with the same mentality. And if they can do what they've done to the other teams, like they can do to the Eagles, then we could talk good about them and the idea of, well, they finally beat someone that mattered. Listen, I am the first one to sit here when Chris Sims quarterback the University of Texas and cannot win a big game to save his life. I'm the first one to sit there and go, until he wins a big game, it'd be his first. Okay? So I understand people who hate the Cowboys. I understand the mentality of how they ain't playing nobody. Got it. No problem. So today's a game. They got to play it. They're at home. They got some advantage with that. They should make use of it because the Eagles will do the same thing if it was reversed. So that's why I'm excited about this. I'm glad it's a night game. I'm glad
it'll be a great game.
I'm glad I get to stay home on my vacation day where I can sit here and actually watch the damn game because sitting at my place of business and trying to watch it in hindsight is really hard to do.
Yes.
So I got me a nice Christmas ham in the fridge. I'm going to put it in the oven and cook it up for the next 5 hours and serve it up and have some fun with it. So I'm looking forward to today and the games and that game in particularly. I hope it's what I think it's going to be. Wouldn't be surprised if it went the other way around. And by the way, if it goes the other way around, if the Eagles do beat the Cowboys, yes, again, they're Cowboys in the doghouse because they can't win a big game.
Here's one thing. Here's the difference. I get what you're saying. I won't necessarily hold it against the Dallas Cowboys that they don't win this game because of the big game. Because the simple fact of the matter, these are the two best teams in this division, and one game's already won by Philly. If they win two, man, that really just kind of puts that division in lockdown. In reality.
Dallas still has a wild card chance at that point, so it's not a problem.
They got the wild card, but but they're going to be on the road. So that's immediate.
Yeah.
So this is a game. So I'm going to ask one Obi-Wan. Could this be the biggest game of Dak Prescott's career?
It could be. What I want to say about you two saying that you're not going to hold it against the Cowboys if they lose this game.
Right.
Now,
I'm not.
I'm just start off by saying I picked the Cowboys to win this game because the fact of I think Philadelphia is a little bit banged up more than what they're saying, and so I think the Cowboys win this game. But I'm going to tell you, you two will care about this game if for some reason somehow Dak becomes Dak and the Cowboys get smoked tonight.
Yes.
You guys will have a lot to say.
I think you're right if they get smoked. Okay? If the Dallas Cowboys get smoked at home, listen, I will be on the Dallas Cowboy tear like you won't believe. But if they're in a dogfight and they lose it, I might have a little pick against them about a dogfight, but per se, as far as that game is concerned, no. And because what are the Dallas Cowboys? One of the biggest things that people, they don't come to play week in and week out. And if you're in a dogfight against an NFC rival that is right now leading the division, yeah, I won't beat them up. But if they get their asses handed to them today, for whatever reason, Dak goes down, Dak throws 2 interceptions, 1 for a pick six, or I will be all over the Dallas Cowboys regardless of what'll end up happening. The problem is that the close game is that, listen, I don't know how I feel about the Dallas Cowboys in a close football game. If they're going to go out and blow them out, of course, but just like, the Podfather said, this is going to be a dogfight, and I don't know, do they have enough dogs and enough to win the game more so than the Eagles, because I get that feeling that the Eagles have the more so than the Dallas Cowboys. So just the way I look at it. But I'm going to tell you right now, and one thing that the Podfather said, okay, or was alluding to, Dak Prescott. Well, no, Dak Prescott needs to be the Dak Prescott that they're paying, not the one that will show up in this game and pick up. And so here's where Dak needs to earn his money. I'm saying it. This is the most important game, and we're not even in the playoffs yet. This is the most important game of Dak Prescott's career right now, based upon making the statement that I'm a $45 million quarterback. And if he doesn't do it today at home, I think that there's going to be a lot of talk. And I'm not going to be one of them, because I think Dak Prescott, if he was on a different football team, would definitely do well for any. Matter of fact, your Cleveland Browns might want to pick up the phone after they lose this game today and say, "Hey, what can we get? Can we get us some Dak Prescott up here, please? Can we please?" And they might be able to pull it off. I am on the Philadelphia Eagles.
You can't make trades during the season, sir.
I know, but you and I both know there's a lot of talk going around, and after the season, Dak Prescott. I mean, listen, the Browns with Dak Prescott. I'm telling you right now, Obi will go out and buy a jersey. I'm telling you right now, he will. And you'd go out and buy a Dak Prescott jersey. No.
I wouldn't do that.
Dak is being Dak, and I'm going to tell you this right now. If tonight's game comes down to the Cowboys get the ball, 2 minutes to go in the game, the Cowboys get the ball and they're down, and they have to drive to score a touchdown or have to drive to stick a people to win the game, Dak becomes Dak, and it's an L. Dak will make a mistake. Dak will make a mistake. I'm telling you.
Keeping it real.
Keeping
You
it
know
real.
what? I agree. I agree in this sense. If Dallas doesn't have a considerable advantage at by 5 minutes left in the game, they might be in trouble.
Yeah. You want to know why that will be? If that scenario comes into play, Trey, you want to know what the reason will be?
Got me
that
under pressure.
You're using all the copyright rules, aren't you?
it will be all. Oh, listen. And by the way, the Philadelphia Eagles defense is nothing to slouch out. You can't.
No, it's not. But then again, Dallas, Dak faced them already, right? And
Yes.
Hurts faced Dallas' defense too. So they both have had that opportunity to kind of see where each other are. Then now it's different. Like Obi said, there's injuries at stake for the Eagles. It's just for the Cowboys too. So I mean, we're a very injured league as it is. So
Right.
it's just going to be interesting to see how any turnovers in this game are going to matter. Any turnovers are going to matter, whether it's Dak throwing picks or if it's Pollard fumbling the ball. By the way, I'm going to hate the fact that if Dallas loses a game because Tony Pollard fumbles the ball, they're going to blame Dak. Why that happens? That's just the league we live in, okay?
Yeah, the Dak haters will be out for it. By the way, the Dallas Cowboys are fans. They're not sold on Dak Prescott. They're just not.
First of all, and here's what I've come across. And you guys can talk about this all you want and say this is not a big deal. Race is a big deal here with Dallas Cowboy quarterback. I had a coworker I worried, God rest his soul, he passed away not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
But he would say, we got to get rid of Dak Prescott. And I'm like, why is that? He's not our kind of quarterback.
Are you serious?
That was his words.
No,
his words.
Listen, Obi. This is a different. Texas is a different country. I'm sorry, it is. It's just that I can't believe I've lasted as long as I have here.
This guy is what was at the time because he's no longer with us. He was a 60-plus-year-old man. He has more white hair on his head than you have on your beard. And I'm telling you right now, arguing with him over his thing. So we got to get rid of Dak Prescott. We can't afford to get rid of him. Why not?
No, you can't.
Be done with him. Then we got to pay us. Still got to pay him. I don't care. We got to get rid of him. I'm like, you're dumb. You're stupid. So, just look. We got what we got. Okay. So we're trying to make it work.
Exactly.
Why not be a fan and actually sit there and say, okay, what do we need to make him succeed? Not sit there and just drown the man because you can't do it yourself. So. I had to deal with a lot of that. I've got a buddy who I did the podcast with for years, Kevin. Doesn't like Dak Prescott. Don't think race isn't a part of that as well. Okay? Because no matter what numbers you throw at him, no matter how many times you sit there and say, well, he was this and that, and so that you like was this, and that, he'll simply go, different game. Don't care. Like he's got this, he'll say everything but that, but when you say everything but that, it becomes that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the Obama thing, really, to where he's like, I don't like him as our president. Why is that? Well, I don't like the liberal part of him. Yeah, but you like Clinton. Yeah, but he wasn't our kind of liberal. Okay, stop it. Shut the hell up.
Listen. I will tell you on this show. You archive it. I was worried when the Dak Prescott contract needed to be signed on how I felt about Jerry Jones and quarterbacks. The fact he ponied up the money to Dak Prescott really changed my, and I'm telling you right now, and Obi, if you do get the opportunity, if and when you get time, Joe Buck does an interview with Jerry Jones, okay? I actually changed my opinion about him in reality, because I've never been a Jerry Jones fan. Okay, just more in the fact what he did with Landry, and then just kick Jimmy Johnson, and took him forever to put him in there. Yeah, all that. But I think at one point I believed that Jerry Jones had a problem with paying that much money to Dak Prescott because of the color of his skin. I really do. And and when he wrote that check, when he did it after the whole year, yeah, it came to a realization that in reality, for the next 4 years, what are we going to do here? And is that start over with a new quarterback? No. You're going to, Jerry Jones was under so much pressure to sign Dak Prescott to that contract because Dak could get it anywhere else. And the last thing that Jerry Jones wanted to be remembered of about again is that he let Randy Moss go. I mean, Dak Prescott go. Catch what I'm saying here.
Listen, I never thought Jerry Jones was a racist because of one reason. When he drafted Quincy Carter, a quarterback who could not throw a NFL football to be your starting quarterback, and gave him opportunity after opportunity after opportunity until Parcells says, I'm done. You know? So.
And I'm going to ask because I'm not sure. Did they really draft? Oh, I mean, did they really draft him to really be the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys?
They drafted him because Michael Vick was taking over the league, and Jerry looked at the quarterback situation and went, we need somebody as electric as Michael Vick. Quincy can run. Quincy can run.
Was he drafted in the first round?
Second round.
Yeah,
okay. he was.
That's still a good.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing was he was favored to go fourth or fifth. He went the first. He went the second. So, Jerry drafted because of what the league was looking at the time with Michael Vick. Michael Vick can throw a football though. Quincy couldn't.
Yes.
Michael Vick can read a defense and say, I'll run first, throw later, but I can still read the defense. Once he couldn't do any of that shit.
Yes.
And yet we gave him opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, and Bill
Parcells couldn't change him either. So
Parcells had one good year with him. But then Quincy went off the rails, and then at that point we settled for Vinny Testaverde for 1 year. Trust me. That's why I feel bad for the Bryce of the world and people like that. Because I've seen the bad quarterbacks come in. Yeah, I love Vinny Testaverde as a human being, but as a quarterback who got beat the hell up out of Tampa Bay, no. I mean, I'm sorry.
when you go Vinny Testaverde over anybody, you're in a lot of friggin' trouble. And that was Bill Parcells going, oh my God, we've got to do something. Okay, I know Vinny. And that's just in reality.
If you remember that time, he's like, okay, I got Vinny, coach him at the Jets. I got Keyshawn Johnson, coach him at the Jets. How the Jets do, by the way?
I know. I agree with you 100%.
I know they were a better team than the Cowboys were that year, that's for sure. But
I can't be wrong in this game. I'm not going to, and just so that you know, I'm not going to change my pick because I can't be wrong in this game. Okay, I'm going to go the Philadelphia Eagles. I think they are the better football team. And I mean all around football team. And that's probably one of the reasons why. But, I'm not impressed with the big time scoring that's going on as far as the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm not gonna. I love that one. It's just one of my favorite ones. But anyway,
you've already worn to the ground. Go ahead.
5 times. Anyway, I just think in the NFL, in a game like this, I'm just going to pick the better football team, and the better football team in reality. In reality, when you look at this game, is the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, if the Philadelphia Eagles do not show up, okay, the Dallas Cowboys just might have their way with them. And Trey, hope for that, because really, if you're going to talk about the Dallas Cowboys in the playoffs, okay, you got to you want to. It's going to be great if they beat them, but if you're the Dallas Cowboys, you want to destroy them. You want to beat the holy hell out of them in reality, and that will prove to anybody in the NFL that you're going to have to watch them in the playoffs.
Listen, they want to do what the Niners did to them last week. I made a statement, and that's where I think Dallas right now needs to psychologically sit there and go, look, we can get a win. But let's destroy them. Yes. Let's show the league that we are the team to beat, because we know the other team to beat is a little more better than us. So we have to at least
Absolutely.
change the mindset of the Stephen A. Smiths of the world, which is hard as hell to do. And the people
Absolutely.
like that have, because remember one thing, ESPN has figured out one thing that no one else has ever figured out. If you talk Dallas Cowboy football at certain points in your show, you get ratings.
Absolutely.
And if you hate on the Cowboys, remember, a very select few people like the Cowboys compared to the rest of the world that hates them.
Yes.
Okay? So the rest of the world's going to tune in and go, yeah, like you're going to turn and go, right, yeah, no problem. Whereas the Cowboy fans like me, we're going to sit and go, oh, you know, this, whatever. Look, you can't win for losing for this team until
Absolutely.
they win. And when they win, it's not enough. Okay?
Yep.
So that's what I'm saying. They got to play Madden football, put 100 points on the Eagles. Not going to happen, I know. But just play the easy level and show the league that they can do this. If they stick around and we get the close game I think we're going to get, the doubts are going to be out there. Well, what about this? Well, what about that? What about this?
And rightfully so, by the way.
Right, but here's the thing. That's the league, right? That's the excuses.
Yes.
That's the league. Were you saying the same shit when it was 34-31 Eagles over the Commanders?
Yes, exactly.
So there's that. So I mean, so yeah.
Here's the thing, though, especially with Dallas, okay, and it's because of the media frenzy. And by the way, you'll learn a lot in that interview about how Jerry did what he did. No, I'm going to say right now, people don't know what he did. So just so that you know, watch it. I won't spoil it. But here's one thing that has to happen today for Dallas. Okay. There's one thing that Dallas has to do with the Eagles.
I know I'm smarter than that something.
They got to play smart football. They got to play good, smart football. And if they don't play smart football, which means you got to get away from those flags. Those flags can cost you this game today. And the Cowboys, number 31 most penalized team in the NFL, that's going to come into play today, especially if Brown gets behind the defense. They're going to start pulling on him because they can't let Brown beat them down the field. And that's what you're going to be watching for that. And the defense is going to be watching for that. But if they don't stop Brown, that's going to be a problem. Also, Julio Jones, he may not be 100% healthy, but if you forget about him, he will burn your ass somewhere around the 15 to 20-yard mark. And before you know it, them in field goal to win a football game, Julio Jones is going to make a play. I'm telling you, I think those are the two guys you got to watch, Brown and Julio Jones in this game, especially if it's close. And one of them is going to get loose. One of them. And it's going to, listen, that's the reason why I think
I feel more secure the fact the NFL banned the Philadelphia Eagles, whatever he is, on the sideline, the head of security guy, to not be a part of that.
By the way, that was awesome. By the way, I thought it was great. Just to put it out there, this is going to be the best game on Sunday Night Football that we've had all year long. It's going to be watchable, regardless who blows anybody out if it happens, because you're going to hang out and see if someone can get back into it. So, Obi, I know you're on the Cowboys. Have I convinced you enough to switch your pick? And because I've seen Obi, you know, what happens when he starts thinking, you can see it right here and here on his forehead. And I've seen a little bit. Have I convinced you enough to switch to the Philadelphia Eagles?
No, you haven't. But as I was thinking about I was listening to what you guys were saying, and then I turned to my NFL.com and I was looking at the Eagles schedule.
Yes.
And then I came up to this is week 14, correct? I came up to week 13, and I looked at Philadelphia Eagles score. I
knew you were going to go there. I knew it. I know this guy so much. I knew he was going to go there. Go ahead.
The Eagles got embarrassed last week.
Mm-hmm.
They are going to be mad. They're going to be pissed off.
That's
now, I said what I said earlier is I think they're dinged up more than what they're letting on. But I feel like if they are somewhat healthy, if what they're saying is not correct and they are healthy,
Mhm.
this could be a statement game by Philadelphia to go into Dallas and spank their ass.
Mhm. And they get Dallas Gardner. They get Dallas Gardner back too, by the way,
and
which they
and
missed
and the
big
other
time.
motivation is now they have beaten Dallas twice this year, and so they have more that they have the head to head, thing,
So
and I just feel just that spanking last week, that's gotta hurt.
that's a different kind of motivation, more so than the pot. And I get
Gotta
the
hurt.
motivation. That's a different kind of trade. You I get why
Gotta hurt.
you're on that. And by the way, I'm not saying you're wrong. Just so you know, I'm just going to pick against it. Just to kind of give you an idea. DeAndre Swift, okay, he's questionable. That does, but he's banged up, like you were talking about. How much banged up is the big question, right? Did they? And that's what you'll never get and understand as far as these injury reports. Is he really questionable or is he probable? Because if you're going to go up against the Dallas Cowboys, DeAndre Smith's going to play today. I don't care. Questionable, he'll be out on the football field. Same thing with Julio Jones. He's questionable. He'll come into play later on if and when they need a guy that's what. It's Dallas Goedert who is probable. This guy's going to play. Dallas Goedert, he is going to get a lot of balls today from Jalen Hurts. So I think that's going to be one of the things through this game. Watch for that one. And here's one of the other things is that the backup tight end is also probable. So they got double whammy at the tight end position, which, by the way, the Eagles love the tight end position. They love.
Yeah, they love it because then when they get to close, fourth down and close, they do that damn tush push and they get both tight ends back there and just put the hell. It's not illegal.
Yes.
But I'm like probably most fans is I don't like it, but here's the thing. It works. And so if you don't like it, stop it.
Exactly.
How do you stop it? You don't know.
It used to be illegal.
Nobody's protected. What?
It used to be illegal because I remember back in '85. I remember the Fridge would try to do that with Walter Payton to get him into the end zone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they'd flag they flag the Fridge for that and say it's illegal use of hands. Can't help out a player like that.
Okay.
So.
Then here's how the teams get around that. Is we can't use our hands. We'll just use our body and just push.
Right.
Absolutely. And the difference between the Fridge and the tush push in reality, after they got penalized for what you were just talking about, they just said, screw it. We'll just run the Fridge up the middle and then just let them run behind them. It's 6.5 dozen against the other side of this in reality. And they were just going to run right behind the Fridge. Never mind if they just gave it to the Fridge. He just pushed it in himself. He didn't need the help from behind.
I'm going to answer your question. And you had, did you change my mind? No, I changed my mind by myself. So now I have picked Philadelphia to win today.
Wow. So there's now I'm wondering about my pick.
Oh God.
Again, who's in first place?
Yeah. This guy's in first. Listen. I'm either going to get back into this or I'm going to start fading away because we're like on three different, and we haven't even gone through the games, and we got an hour. We can roll through them. But I love when we get into depth of talking some of these games, especially today.
I love when we get into depth over games that matter.
No. See, and I'm going to tell you the reason why I don't do that. There's actually a reason why. That's what the NFL today, that's what ESPN, that's what all of them do. And I want to talk all of the games. So Sonny, that's the reason why I do it the way I do it.
I know why, because you do so much research on meaningless shit. So, meaningless games. You ain't let that shit go to waste, okay? You're just gonna say,
you don't think you sound like my brother. You sound like you overanalyze this. Well, by the way, just take away from the last year, who won this damn thing all the time? That would be this guy here.
But again, who's winning it this year?
See, that's what I'm just saying. Hey, at least I'm up there because the last 2 years I was on the bottom of this thing. So just so that you know.
So, gentlemen, you got me one more game.
Okay.
All right.
Let's talk
So
about one more
you
game.
pick the game. You pick the game you want to talk about because there's some interesting games, even though that they're kind of crap. But there are some interesting game. You can't pick the Lion game and Bear game in case we get Cuervo. He's going to be at the game for the.
He's in Chicago, eh?
No, he's going to the San Diego. I'm sorry,
the
Chargers,
he's going to
the
Broncos,
Chargers and
okay,
Broncos.
all
Yeah, Chargers and Broncos.
Well, okay, so I won't do the Bears.
So don't
I'm gonna
pick that. Pick any other one that you want to, and
Okay,
we'll break it
the
down.
Sunday afternoon marquee game: Bills and Chiefs.
Bills and Chiefs.
Did you guys already talk about it?
Nope, we haven't talked about it, and this
Okay.
would normally be, I think, a marquee game in reality. But I'm going to throw it to you. Why do you think that this is still a marquee game? And just because of the teams, the potential of what they should be, because both these teams are kind of down in reality,
Yes,
if you think about it.
But
Both of them are, but someone's got to win.
Right. The reason why this is a marquee game, it's I think in the position of both teams are right now. Both teams are behind, and both teams are at this point in week 14 when the season began. We were talking. This is Bills, Chiefs. The Bengals before Burrow got hurt. The Ravens. Those are the four teams, and that were really being talked about in the AFC of being the leaders. Now all of a sudden you find the Buffalo Bills are I can't remember how many games behind the Miami Dolphins, and the Chiefs are behind in their league. So this is almost like this is a gotta win game for both teams.
Yes.
And it's over the last few years, it's always been about Josh Allen against Patrick Mahomes, and we still have that, right?
Right.
That's why I think this is a marquee game. This is Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Bills, Chiefs. They've got to win to stay pace with their division leaders and the AFC leaders. So I went through. I looked at this game this week, and normally I would look at it and say, it's at Kansas City, at Arrowhead. That should be a win for the Kansas City Chiefs. I looked at it, and I just think that I don't know really what's going on in Buffalo. I just don't know what's going on. And you really can't blame Josh Allen right now. It's just they're just Buffalo. Do you see that there's just something off in Buffalo right now? And so I think this is where is it McDaniel that is the coach for Buffalo? I think that he's got the troops. He's rallied the troops. I think Buffalo goes into Arrowhead and wins today. That's my upset special of the week.
That is an upset special.
Because I want you to say one thing. I want you to see one thing. There's one thing to watch. And I noticed this last week when Kansas City played on Sunday night, right? There's something going on with Travis Kelce. Is it the Taylor Swift effect? Or is he hurt and he's not saying it?
That's the one I'm wondering about.
That dude only has 5 touchdown catches this year.
Tired.
He would normally have 10 by now. He's
tired.
He's probably tired.
Is there something off in Buffalo right now? There's something off.
I agree. Yeah, and interestingly enough, they're talking about it in the media in reality, and they're trying to find excuses so much they stretched on a 9/11 comparison, and they were all over the head coach for making the comparison. So they're just finding the media is trying to find out what the problem is outside of what's going on the football field, and I think that's a big difference. So interestingly enough, Trey, you get the Buffalo Bills, who, believe me, highly touted at the beginning of the season to win the whole damn thing. All of a sudden is not there. And not by you. I'm just saying highly touted throughout the NFL that they could possibly make a run for it. Not doing it. Looking at this game, what are you looking at in order for either the Chiefs to get the win or the Bills? What's going on?
Well, Obi said it, but he didn't say the word that I think I would be using. Desperation. Both teams are desperate right now. Okay? I trust the Chiefs in a desperation game more than I trust the Bills.
I
Okay?
think I agree with you.
And I said this from week one. I don't trust the Josh Allen, let's make him the next Brett Favre thing that the NFL was trying to do. I didn't buy into that. I was right about Herbert out of the Chargers. I'm pretty sure I'm right about Josh Allen too. That they're good quarterbacks, yes. Like great quarterbacks, let's not elevate them so damn quickly. All right. Now, does he need a lot of help around him? Yeah, every quarterback does. I'm sorry, even Brady needed help around him, but he doesn't have that help. And the Bills are in a desperate situation because they haven't had the right key players in the right key positions to win key games. The Chiefs, yes, if the Chiefs fall off, we're blaming Taylor Swift. I get all that crap, okay? Bullshit, and it's whatever. Listen, if he's out there banging her more times than he's catching passes, if he's banging her more times than he's catching touchdown passes, look out that window, guys. Who else wouldn't do that, all right? But still, wah, he gets to bang a national superstar. Wah. Okay, look, here's the thing. The team is off, but I trust them to rebound more than the Bills. They're playing at home. I do not see Buffalo coming into Kansas City and showing the Chiefs up. I don't think they have that mentality. They're a good team. They're not a great team. The Chiefs right now are a good team. Was a great team. Now we're in December. Now if you win every game this month, you have a chance. They're not off to a good start right now, so let's see what happens going forward here because they're still in the hunt. Now, where they finish at the end of the year, I have no idea. But again, I would put my money, if I had any money, because I don't, because I work at a place that doesn't pay me.
Hey, you work at ASU?
No. But I will say this, Obi. This past Friday night, I had to work a concert that we had Adam Sandler and David Spade there. And Adam Sandler walked by me. I have this really hot supervisor that I work with. And he came up to her and went, "Hey, how you doing? How's it going?" He looks over at me and goes, "Eh." So,
well, I don't blame him. But yeah, there you go.
I was like, "How you doing, sir?" Eh. Okay.
Yeah.
And she's over there going, "Oh my God." I talked to him, so I'm like, "Yeah, I got man by him." Okay, great.
You got and
now everybody I work with going, "Eh." I'm like, "Thank you."
Yeah. Thank you very much. I'll be here all week.
But anyway, look, I think the Chiefs are going to rebound and do what they do best, and that is put the month of December away. They got the right quarterback. They got the right people in place. Maybe they're bored. There's an idea. Maybe they're just bored until the games matter. Okay, it's a horrible way. It's a horrible way to look at the NFL, but basketball is the same way. Baseball is the same way. Hell, hockey is the same way. Some teams get when teams are so good, they are bored at the earlier part of the season because you have to go through that until the games matter.
There's no challenge either. I mean, if you're as good as the Chiefs always are, I get it, and they need something to get a swift kick in the ass. I get what you're saying.
That's funny you say the word swift.
You notice how I did that? Did you notice how I did that swift kick in the ass? Okay.
Here's the thing. Wow. Why were we even talking about that? Just beyond me. But I think the Chiefs welcome the Buffalo Bills in and send them packing immediately after the third quarter because I don't trust Josh Allen. I don't trust the Buffalo Bills. I trust what I've seen. Y'all say watch the damn football game like Granny Galloway says. I've watched enough football to see how good Patrick Mahomes really is, how good Travis Kelce can be, how good the rest of that team can operate. So, and plus, honestly, I trust Andy Reid, former Eagle coach, Super Bowl winning coach for the Chiefs.
Hall of Famer gonna be?
Yeah, I put more stock into him than I do most coaches in the NFL these years. I mean, if and it will never happen, if for some reason Jerry says, McCarthy, you're out, I'm bringing Andy Reid in, I'm all for it. Okay, it'll never happen, but I'm all for it. He brought in Parcells, strange things happen. So, look, I'm gonna go Chiefs. I think the home field advantage helps them out, and it's gonna be a good game. Good game. CBS has it, right?
Who knows? I can't keep track of it anymore because they changed their freaking rules.
If
It'll be on Red Zone. That's all that matters to me.
If it's a Tony Romo called game, that'd be a really good game to watch.
So, interestingly enough, I am on the Kansas City Chiefs, and I know what the problem is with the Buffalo Bills, and they are all of a sudden, Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs cannot get along. I don't understand that because they've had the success, right? Say whatever you want. For the last 2 years, Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, it's tight love. Now, all of a sudden, with those two going on, it seems got a lot going on right now. And I'm telling you where that comes from, and it does come from the wide receiver. And why is that? Because they're known as divas, and when they don't get the ball, I'm telling you right now, it's a total different thing. Now, I don't know the stats off the top of my head, but we're not talking about Stephon Diggs being one of the top 10 wide receivers in the NFL.
You don't know the stats off the top of your head?
Not for that.
I'm starting to quest this entire show now.
No, really. I got to do the research and stuff because it's just so that you know. But listen, they're not on the same page. Okay, you got your two superstars not on the same page, and you're going into Arrowhead today. Yeah, unless they kissed and made up. And I don't know. I don't know. Maybe someone's got to do a reach around to make someone happy. I don't know. But I'm telling you right now, but the Buffalo Bills do not look like the Buffalo Bills of the last 2 years. They're 6-6. And to Trey's point, 8-4. Listen, they're 8-4. You're talking 8-4 on any other football team. You're going, yeah, they're a pretty damn good football team. But since it's the Chiefs, you're going, what's wrong with the Chiefs? So, it's the difference between what's going on. And I think you're right. I think I think it might be the time where they start going, well, you know what? Guess what? We better start stretching our legs in reality and get out in front of this because according to the division standing, the Chiefs have a 2-game win or lead right now over the Broncos. And imagine getting this win today. Regardless, even though it's not a division game, they go one up, especially if the Broncos drop their game, which I don't know if we will. And we'll talk about that. But if Broncos drop that game, that'd be a 3-game win lead. And then if you think they're bored now, wait until next week if they get a 3-game lead up on the Denver Broncos. Now, that being said, within the AFC, you got 9-3 Ravens. And you have the Jaguars who 8-4, but I don't think they're really ones to be that same record as the Chiefs. But the Dolphins are 9-3. If the Dolphins keep winning football games, that means Patrick Mahomes is going to be in a freaking wild card game the first week of the playoffs, more so than sitting at home. Because I looked at the Dolphins' schedule and it looks like the Chiefs are in trouble, especially if they drop another game, and then it could be the Dolphins sitting at home in the first round of the playoffs. So this is an important game, and they better show up. So,
a couple of things I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to answer a couple of things for you. Number one, I know what's wrong between Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen.
What is it?
It's because they're losing. They're 6-6, and you are right about. You bringing up the little crybaby, little baby crying, when you're losing and you're not getting the ball, all of a sudden,
you hear that scream more.
Yes, you start hearing that cry. But if they were 8-4, 9-3, and Stephon Diggs wasn't really getting the ball, still getting the ball the same, but they were winning,
wouldn't say a word.
Stephon Diggs wouldn't say a word. He'd say, "Oh yeah, Josh Allen, he's my bud." So losing brings out a lot. Winning covers up a lot.
Mhm.
And
Good point.
that's the issue right there. Now, and the other thing I wanted to bring up, we talked about, Podfather talked about how I was saying it, but I really didn't say it. The Bills are desperate. The
Mhm.
Bills are on the bubble. And if they
Mhm.
lose today, they're 6
Oh.
and 7, and the Dolphins crush the Titans,
Which they will.
which they will. They are going to be way behind from Miami.
Absolutely.
No way that they can win that division, and they would be desperate to get in because now they're on wild card. Who are the wild card teams right now? Hey, right now the Steelers dumped themselves on Thursday night. The
Yep.
Steelers are done. The Steelers are not winning another game this year. Do you heard it right?
And if they
You
do,
can
it'd
tell
be a
Bryce that.
miracle.
You tell Bryce that. I said that. And I
He
was the
knows.
one that several
He
weeks
knows.
ago, I was
He
the one
knows.
that said that the
He-
Steelers are winning this division. I'm eating crow right now,
right.
but I'm going to say the Steelers do not win another game this year. That offense is horrendous.
Yes.
But we're going to go back. I'm going to say the Bills are desperate. They're desperate enough. I think that they pull out a lot of plays out of the playbook this week to get a win in Kansas City. That's why
true.
the Bills. They're desperate. And
I love it.
do desperate things.
I love it. Obi, as usual, anytime and every time. Get your ass on over here. We love to hear
Godfather,
from
I
you.
enjoy joining the show today. I enjoy listening to you because as Sonny and I, we get very emotional as we talk. You are like stoic, just like even keel, like you bring it all down and just like you have knowledge. I enjoy hearing you. It's too bad that you are a Cowboys fan and whatever.
Misfits! This is total BS!
That can't be perfect, sir.
Yeah. So hey, you're a Cowboys fan. Your Cowboys have made it to the Super Bowl and won. My Browns have never been to the Super Bowl.
Well, there you go.
There you
Yeah. I give credit where credit is due. The Podfather will be realistic about his football team. And that's why his pick. Listen, there's no bad pick in that Dallas game. Either way, I mean,
It's only a bad pick if you lose it. Okay.
That's and we won't know that until there's all zeros on the score on the time
On the clock. Yeah.
Yep. So
Enjoy it, guys. We'll talk to you later.
Obi, always good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Talk to you later.
Obi cracks me up. Yeah, by the way, I hate that guy. He
You love him and you know
beat
it.
me in everything except darts. I listen. No one's beating me at darts, but everything else. I mean, I would beat him every once in a while bowling.
like a
I never
challenge,
beat
sir.
him at pool.
That sounds like a
It's just
challenge,
like-
sir.
It's like,
Never beat you at darts, huh?
what?
He never beat you at darts?
Oh no.
Oh, that sounds
No.
like a challenge.
You
sir.
can't beat me in darts if I start drinking.
Oh,
you just-
hey, I'm
You just can't.
challenge accepted, bro.
I'm telling you right now. I don't know what it is
Listen,
about drinking and darts.
Listen, I may not be the world class athlete I used to be, or ever, but I mean, look, I'm just saying, I can throw a dart. I'm
Not
pretty
gonna beat
accurate.
me.
I'm pretty
Got news
accurate. I
for you.
mean, okay.
Good news for you.
That sounds
You're
like a
not. You are
challenge.
not. But see, but my disclaimer is I gotta be drinking. Sober, you'll probably kick my ass. But I'm telling you right now, once I start drinking, forget about it. I got me some nice little darts. I got the fancy. Man, I'm a dart throwing fool when I'm drinking.
Hey,
When I've
I'll
been
tell you
drinking.
what. I'll tell you what. We go drink for drink, dart for dart. Let's see who's got it.
Okay, I don't have a claim to fame on a lot of things, but throwing
Okay.
darts, just not gonna.
Really?
You
'Cause you
can beat
talking-
me in every friggin' thing
Really?
else, but you're not gonna beat me in
You
darts.
talk an awful lot about everything you think you know about, so I'm just saying.
Well, no,
mean-
I know football more than you, but that's just different.
Okay. Again,
Oh,
look at the scoreboard, my friend. Look at the scoreboard.
the two. Hey, this is going to be a make or break week. I'm telling you right now. I'm either going to fucking go down in a blaze of glory, or I'm taking this thing in my own hands. And
listen. I talked to God last night. I said, Lord.
Yeah.
He said, Troy. We're on that first name basis. And
I see.
I said, listen, I need this because you know me, I cannot grow my hair out for 1 month. It drives me up the freaking wall. He's like, and that's why I got the message. He's like, now you agreed to a year. I was like, oh shit. Then the Lord says,
we'll go a month. We'll go a month. We'll go a month because no one can. I couldn't handle that. I'm gonna have a hard time with a month if I lose.
Well, let's make it interesting. I'll say 3 months. Okay, that's fair. 3 months.
No, a
so
month.
You see, so you see a difference.
No.
You
I'm only going to do a month. If you want 3, right there.
Yeah, for you, it's a month. For me, it's and that means, and I know when football season's over, you switch the schedule to a different time frame or whatever. But I work those hours, so we have to kind of figure out a way to do the show at a time where I can come on and do it. But we'll figure out if it gets to that. But once again, to be fair, I'll grow my hair out for 3 full months. God, Lord knows nobody wants to see that shit. I mean, I'm having a hard time getting dates now, but I mean, you can imagine what's going to be like with that.
I threw a flag. I threw a flag on you, by the way. So.
That's what I look at. Wow. Thank you, Robert.
Oh Lord.
So yeah. Anyway, let's go. We got more games to talk about. We only got like an hour to talk about. Let's go.
Well, we got about a half hour, and we got to go through them. There's some good games going on here today. But at the same time, let's go. Cuervo's not going to make it in.
The Bears are who we thought they were,
and they got a game today, and they go up against the Lions. They blew that game, right? In the end zone, out, lost by the safety and everything, or the Bears were going to win that football game. They came to play. They didn't get the win in Detroit. Now they're home. I hate this game because they both suck. When they play each other, I can't tell who's going to win, but that's those divisional games. This one should be. I mean, I'm on the Lions. Don't get me wrong. Lions are a better football team, and they bounce back. I remember I watched the show, and you said if they don't bounce back, what is that going to be for the Lions? I think you were 100% right on that. God, I can't believe I just said that. But if they didn't show up the way they showed up to get that victory last week, you would need to be worried about the Lions if you're a Lion fan. However, they got the Bears. The Bears suck. Simple game for me. I'm on the Lions. What about you?
Not as simple as a choice you think it is, because like I said, if the Lions start falling off the face of the earth, heads are going to start rolling. I don't mean people are going to be fired. I mean, they're going to start looking at each other going, what the hell happened? We were really awesome in September and October, November. Mm-hmm. But that damn Thanksgiving game really did us in. And, that's a tough pill to swallow. I'm going to go to Detroit because I think they're at home. And quite frankly, I think, Chicago's not that great. But stranger things have happened in the NFC North. And,
Hey, and the Bears won last week.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Was it last week or the week before? They won. They won within the last 2 weeks.
I know that if this game is close, it's going to be a no-biter for both of us picking this thing because that's a sure win that we thought we were going to have. But hey, credit to the Bears for hanging in there regardless of their situation. And I hope Dan Campbell can get control of his team because that is his team, and that team plays the way he coaches. They need to keep doing that and not just take the month off, because if you're going to do that, this is not the best month to do that.
I fully agree. And here's one thing that they got to do: they cannot be the Lions letting the Chargers score 38 on them. They can't be that team today. They got to be the Dallas Cowboys. They got to go and they got to beat the snot out of the Bears. The Bears. But I don't see him beating the snot out of them. I see him maybe winning by 10 in this one. So I'm on the Lions in that one. Okay. I think it's going to be a good game.
I'm going to say if the Lions win, they win by 13 or higher. If they lose, they lose by 3.
Gotcha. Well, keeping it within that number. The Rams on the road taking on the Baltimore Ravens. And guess what? I hate this because I do it all the time. If I make a statement, I'll admit. I'll do it. I'll admit it. Right now, I was wrong right now about Lamar Jackson.
Explain to his
Just
paper now.
looking, looking at the division. Let me pull that back up. Right now, the Ravens got a 2-game lead over the Browns, and guess who else? The frickin' Steelers. They're still within it, and they're still trying to. And could you imagine if they would have won those 2 games in reality? I mean, you're talking, but they didn't, and they're where they are now. Ravens, pretty good football team, especially. And I even said it, even like if that guy can remain healthy, this is going to be a hard team to beat, especially in the playoffs. It's going to be a tough one because maybe we get the stretching of the legs of this type of quarterback, proving that they can actually have success, mainly obviously within the playoffs, which is what we always kind of talk about in reality. But I like the Ravens today over the Rams. They're in Baltimore. Matthew Stafford is not playing great football, and that hurts them as well. Plus, if he turns that football over, which I expect at least one turnover coming from Matthew Stafford making a bad decision, that's going to be in the Baltimore's favor big time. They'll score on it, and that'll be the difference in the game.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I trust Baltimore at home more than I trust LA on the road. And
True.
I trust.
Would you pick the Rams if the Rams were at home?
No.
I just asking. I agree with you. I wouldn't either.
I think Lamar Jackson is on a whole different plane, and right now as much as you hate it, he's playing to his paper. He's playing to his paper, and whether or not it gets them far or not, we'll see. I mean, still the AFC they got to contend with, but right now, I think he's playing the best ball he's ever played.
I think you're absolutely right. So, and then that'll lead us to the team that has been officially eliminated, the Carolina Panthers, going up against a horrible. God, you want to talk a toilet bowl game? Here's one for you. I mean, in reality. So, say whatever you want. The Saints are at home. It's pretty much how I picked this game.
Just out of curiosity, are the Saints officially out too?
Say no, they are not.
Not. Okay, well,
and so much so. Hold on, I'm going to tell you what's going on. The Saints are only 1 game behind the Falcons, and so the Buccaneers are only 1 game behind the Falcons. They're 5-7. The Falcons are 6-6. If one of these teams decide to show up and play consistent from week 14 to week 18, it could be the difference of who's going to be in the playoffs and who's not. And thank God for the Saints. They get Carolina today, but I hate when a team has nothing to lose and they're going up against a team who has something that they need. And I'm not saying that the Carolina Panthers, I'm not going to pick them, but would it shock me that the Panthers beat New Orleans today? No, because they both suck. So one of them might show up today. So, but I'm going to go with the Saints. I hate the fact I am, but I am.
I can see it to where later on the day we look at the score, like when they're doing highlights and they're showing like Carolina putting points up on the Saints. And
yes,
sitting there going, damn, how do we not see this happening? Again, I'm going with the Saints only because they got the home advantage. Not that really matters here, but
right.
Again, I don't put a lot of faith in Carolina can. I think Carolina's not going to lose every game the rest of the season. I think they're going to get 1 or 2.
They can be sneaky good sometimes, which scares me, especially against the Saints.
They can get a win here today. I don't think they will, but I think they can easily get one in. And my God, that will send Z up a freaking wall. Poor Kathy, she's got to sit there and deal with him and baby him. And go, it's okay, Z, it's gonna be all right. And he'll be going, I don't understand that. I thought these are great receivers. No, it's okay. Derek Carr just sucks. I know, but look, poor Z, love that kid. But look, here's the thing. Saints should win.
Yes.
Carolina could win. That's
Right.
the problem. That's the problem.
Yes. Yes.
So,
And think about this, just to throw a curveball on you. If Tampa Bay wins today against Atlanta and the Saints win, they'll all be 6-7,
except for Carolina.
except for Carolina.
No.
The top three within that division that are fighting for it will be all tied at 6-7. Below 500.
That was the NFC East 3 years ago.
Oh God, you are not lying. It was the NFC least at best. So
Yeah,
it was,
so-
you know.
So,
But and then they turned around last year, three of them in the freaking playoffs. Unbelievable. But
I could go a different route with this. Which city has a better food, Carolina or New Orleans?
God, are you serious? Are
I
you
do-
gonna pick a game based on who got better barbecue or something?
but what if it works? I mean, I do like Carolina barbecue.
What?
I know, right? But I do like Carolina barbecue. I'm not a big fan of the Cajun food, but no, it's not enough. I'm gonna go with
It just depends. I mean, occasion or if I did it that way, I'd have to pick Carolina because I love home cooked meals from country meals coming from it. But
listen, one year I want to do a pick'em league where I want to do it based off things that are not football related. All my picks will be based off that.
like
Just
a bear
what I
and a
did.
dolphin. Give me the Bears.
Let's see. We got the Commanders versus the Giants. Well, I do like the Smithsonian in Washington, so let's go with that.
Oh God.
I mean,
Anyway,
both city traffic sucks, so set that one.
yeah. So
I'm going Saints.
Yeah, I'm going Saints too. I think that's fairly one. And Houston and the Jets today. Houston playing really good football. Hey, listen, that's good. I mean, you got a rookie quarterback. I don't like rookie quarterbacks, and if they can prove me wrong, that's a good thing for their franchise. Not me, because I'm not going to change my opinion. I'm not going to change my opinion about rookie quarterbacks. They all suck, even him. But they're just winning, But they're going up against the Jets in New York. The Jets, there's no offense there. So yeah, I can't pick the Jets in my right mind. Never mind when I'm not in my right mind, but I can't see myself picking the Jets today as they take on Houston. Houston, hey, listen, they're figuring it out. And Cuervo's the coach, I forget his name. It's off. He's got to be in the talking for Coach of the Year, regardless of the situation. So that's a good one. San Francisco at home.
Hold on a second. Am I not picking the Houston Jets game?
You just said that Houston's going to win.
No, I didn't say that.
All right, go ahead. Are you going to pick the Jets?
No, Houston's going to win. Go ahead.
Who's going to win this game, Trey, Matt?
Oh, San Francisco's going to win.
Okay. Well, no, I want to go back to the Jets.
I said Houston's going to win. You didn't hear me the first time? Or the second time?
I thought I did, but I guess I didn't. But anyway, all right. San Francisco, this one's just too easy. I mean, look what San Francisco did last week. Listen, that was a statement game.
But here's the thing. Divisional game. Seattle has something to play for right now as far as a wild card still, because let's face it, losing to the Cowboys last week hurts them. So they get back in the saddle. They're going against a hell of a test, though. Ain't gonna happen. I'm just saying. For those Seattle fans, God bless you. I mean, they're trying.
9-3, 6-6, and so are the Rams. I mean,
Yeah.
And I think San Francisco can just show up and win this football game.
Yeah. But
I
you
think,
got to remember one thing though. There was 3 games in the year where San Francisco could not buy a win. I think one of those was in Seattle, wasn't it?
I think you're right, but
yeah. So
Listen, I was never worried about San Francisco ever.
okay,
I wasn't
okay.
worried about them at all. I mean, they got too much talent, and they'll sort of like what we talked about earlier today. Maybe they were bored. I mean,
Happens.
I don't know because they showed up and they started beating the hell out of each other.
I mean,
But it is
I mean,
Geno Smith, and that defense is going
listen.
to. By the way, 2 interceptions for Geno Smith, maybe a pick six. That San Francisco defense is going to eat them up. That offensive line's got to be perfect in order for Geno Smith to perform, and they're just not going to get it out.
Listen, I ain't gonna lie. Hour number 2 of this show, I get kind of bored, so I have to kind of find my way to meander my way through
Well,
this
so
show.
do I. I mean, but it is because usually anyway. All right, Minnesota and Las Vegas. Minnesota and Las Vegas.
God, the battles suck.
Has it worn off? Has the newness of their quarterback Josh Dobbs worn off a little bit? And the Raiders, God, the Raiders are just, I say it before and I'll say it again. When the Raiders are a good football team, the NFL is a fun game, fun to watch. It really is. I want them to be good. Right now, they're just not good. And that's a lot of front office things and coaching things that are going on. Josh Dobbs, it has the newness wore off on him. I don't know. Will he have a come to Jesus? I don't know. But right now, the better defense is going to win this football game. That's Minnesota.
Right. And honestly, hey, look, Dobbs has lost his share of games this year.
Absolutely.
But I think he has the pulse of that offense already.
Yes.
And that says a lot about a guy who just came in from nowhere.
Fully agree.
And the Raiders,
they're a hot mess.
You mentioned that the NFL is good when they are in the driver's seat.
Mm-hmm. Well, not driver's seat, but good.
Okay. So the 70s, the early 80s, maybe 2000s. So
I'm just saying when they are. I'm
just saying
they always are. I'm just saying when they won 2 Super Bowls, and if they're halfway decent, you get the crowd involved with the crazy nuts, involved with it. To me, it's just more entertaining to watch.
The crazy nuts from Las Vegas.
Well, they travel. I mean, geez, it's only 4.5 hours for them to get to Vegas.
Yeah.
I mean, and those crazy nuts, they're going to go there. But, I don't know.
So you're telling me there's a chance.
A chance for them to win. And I get it. But I just think Minnesota, that defense Brian Flores is bringing it's just not going to be enough. And never mind, their offense is stagnant anyway. So it's just, and it's a hard, and right now, the Raiders are a hard watch. That's what I hate watching them because they're just that hard to watch and just like, what's going to happen? Hell, I don't know. So, but I'm going to go Minnesota. Who do you got in this one?
Minnesota.
Okay. Very good. All right. Now, the game that could be the trap game of the day, that being the Broncos and Chargers. This is a trap game for the Broncos. After that poor performance last week, normally when Obi and I start talking about how you lose a game pisses you off to where you can go in and have a game. And they get the Chargers. And the Chargers sometimes show up, sometimes they don't. And that's the bad thing about the Chargers. It's why they're hard to watch. They're hard watch because if they're really good, we're going to get it. No Joey Bosa, though. That is killer. They lost their defensive leader, and that's going to be a big determining factor on how they play the rest of the season, even with Justin Herbert playing well. Because here's the thing. Justin Herbert I don't think is right now capable of coming back to win a game for you. And that's where you define yourself as an NFL quarterback. It's coming back from games and winning games that maybe you pull one off or you pull one off, you go, oh, holy crap. I haven't been getting that from the Chargers this season. What do you think?
I haven't trusted the Chargers all year. And I'm not going to start today, really. I was
going to say, I don't know why anybody would.
Right.
Will it be interesting though? I mean, do you think the Chargers will keep it interesting? I don't think they are. I think I hate to even say it. I think they're going to get blown out today because of the way Denver lost last week.
I think the first half of the game they're going to keep it interesting, but then Sean Payton is going to look at his team and go, "Guys, we're better than this.
Yeah,
we're better than them.
Come
We've
on,
been bad. Now we're good. Now we're kind of on the fence. Let's go out the fucking fence."
Yeah, let's go.
I mean, and when Sean Payton, listen, I would trust Sean Payton and the Broncos more than I would trust, the Saints winning anything today. But I got the Saints winning today against Carolina. Okay,
right.
I'm more uncertain about that game than I am about Sean Payton beating the Chargers. Okay?
Yeah, they should go in there and they should beat. And never mind that the defense coming from the Broncos, that should be good.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Do you see a difference between AFC football and NFC football? Like,
yes.
Like Major League Baseball, you got the NL, you got the of course now they got the DH as well. But I mean, like, they always say National League Baseball is different from Major League and American League Baseball. Do you see the difference between AFC and NFC football?
100%. I see it immediately. I think the AFC is a better route of teams that are in the league on a consistent level, more so than the NFC. Now, that has shifted in the last 5 to 6 years, usually because of one guy. And in this case, it's Patrick Mahomes. Those teams have got to step up to beat a Patrick Mahomes. That's why you kind of see that. I don't see a guy that's really standing out in the NFC where you go, God, we got to figure out how to beat that guy.
Well,
and I don't think we're getting that in the NFC.
Listen, the way
whoa! Just like I don't know if he heard us talking. I'm going to bring him in, and I'm not going to play the intro because I don't want to steal your time. It's Cuervo calling from the automobile. How you doing, my friend?
Say hi. We're doing good on our way to the Bronco game.
All right.
We're talking about that game right now. It's like you heard us going there. Yes. Yeah. And by the way, I take the Denver Broncos.
Good. About time, Sonny.
Right?
You're finally catching up. You're finally getting with it, getting with the times.
Maybe exactly. I just don't trust Justin Herbert enough, more so than your guy. So what's your take? I mean, you've been watching the Broncos. You started off pissed off. Now you're just kind of like maybe coming close to a love affair with your team now again. What's your take upon it?
Yeah. My take coming from last weekend's game where Russell Wilson, it's almost like he played with a blindfold. Judy was left wide open. He didn't see that. He threw for the interception at the end zone to end the game. It's like he wasn't the Russ that we've seen for the 5 games that he's won. So hopefully, but I've always told Mario, I think the offensive line has a lot to do with it. The offensive line is shit. So I think once the offensive line gets tight around Wilson and they give him plenty of time to scan the field, he's going to find the players like Surtain wide open, and he's going to find, not Surtain, Judy, he's going to find him open. Sutton, he's going to be able to find all those guys, but the offensive line is not giving him enough time.
I agree. And that's where the games are usually won when you talk Bronco football. It's how much, if you're not going to give Russ any time, you're going to have a hard time winning football games. And today, when they have the Chargers without a Joey Bosa, this is an opportunity now for that offensive line to give Russ that time to throw the football because the pressure is only going to be coming from one side in reality. So if you know where it's coming from, you can plan for it. So I look at that now, Cuervo. I don't know if your assessment is the same as hers. And by the way, welcome to the fine co-host of this program. What's your take up on the Chargers today going up against the Broncos?
Yeah, Sonny, I mean, I look, last week, I don't know how you feel good after winning a game 6-0.
Yes.
Against a Patriot team that went out just this Thursday and put up 3 touchdowns on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yes.
So, and so with that said, I just don't know what it is about the Chargers. I don't know how you go into New England and only come out with 6 points. Now they got the victory. They shut the Patriots out, which is a lot to say about the well, maybe not too much about the defense, because we all know what New England's offense is about. But for them to only put up 6 points, either New England knew exactly what the Chargers were doing on offense, or there's an issue going on with the Chargers that we don't know about. Now, I know what you're thinking, Sonny, and I know what you're gonna say. And the Podfather may be like, he may shake his head yes, he may shake his head no. Maybe there is the Kellen Moore effect. I don't know. I can't say for sure what it is, but to put up 6 points in that game, I'm concerned if I'm a Charger fan. The couple that are out there, I'm concerned about the
couple.
Yeah, like the crazy lady. That's one of them, but I don't think there's many
She's
more
sweet.
after that.
But I'm telling you right now, Bryce was on the show talking about fireable offense. 6 points against the New England Patriots. That's where I was sitting there, and that's a fireable offense, and that's a Kellen Moore thing. That means the offense is not, recognizing who they're playing in order for them to even be competitive. And again, it was the Patriots. The fact of the matter is they should have blew them out, and they didn't. And you're right. So it's just one of those things.
Is it? So then the question becomes, and this goes for you and the Podfather, is it an execution problem, or is it just simply a play calling problem? Not calling the right plays in the right situations, or is it execution by the offense? Because it could be two different things. It can't be. Well, just Kellen Moore sucks as an offensive coordinator. I don't fully believe that. I don't think he's a horrible offensive coordinator. I just think it's either A, the play calling needs to be adjusted in certain situations, or B, the offense needs to execute better. I can't tell which one it is. I haven't watched enough Charger football. I'm going to see it, firsthand today, and I can give you guys better, a better assessment after today on what I see with the Charger offense. But I don't know. I don't know which one it is. I don't know.
What do you think, Trey?
You guys can...
Listen, 75 to 80% of all football plays that are set up on an offensive game plan are designed to score a touchdown. So because they all don't do it, that's on execution at that point. So now you can mix the two and say he called the wrong play, they didn't execute the right way. It's both ways. I mean, honestly, that's a question for both answers. And both answers were the case in Dallas. They're also the case in San Diego or LA or wherever the fuck they're playing at these days. So I think Kellen Moore, he got really fancy with the Cowboys for a little bit until the league figured him out. Then when the league figured him out, the problem was they figured him out with a quarterback that was throwing interceptions and that was making mistakes. They figured him out when the offensive line got banged up and hurt, and they were able to get to the backfield and get the running back from running for 5 or 6 yards. So the problem, like I said, the problem with the LA Chargers, I'll get this right eventually. Is I know it's so hard, right?
It is.
I mean, I don't trust their quarterback. I don't trust him in a crucial situation. He hasn't proven to me that he can do it. And I'm sorry, but that falls on opportunities, chances, missed opportunities, missed chance. I mean, whatever it is, it's there. And Kellen Moore can only call the plays that are on his sheet.
Right.
The team's got to execute it. But if they haven't been executing most of those plays the majority of the game, it's over.
All right. Then I will ask one, Mrs. Cuervo. Is it about Kellen Moore as far as the Chargers would be concerned? I'm asking her because she's kind of maybe not in the night. She knows about the Dallas Cowboys when he was the offensive coordinator. She's seen San Diego because his team plays San Diego. Is it about the play calling or is it about the quarterback?
I think it's a little bit of both, to be honest, because I've seen their quarterback play, and he just doesn't look confident. He doesn't look confident on the field. You could tell he's got like this just disheveled look every single play. He's just not as confident as he should be. So I just think it's a little bit of both. And how the other guy was saying, they're not executing. No matter what the call play is, they're just not confident enough to execute those plays. So
I love that. I think
issue.
you're right. I think you're right, and I'm going to tell you the reason why. It's a little bit of both. That means it's one more than the other. Look at Justin Herbert the last 3 years that he's played. He had that confidence. He was making those plays. What has changed? The new offensive coordinator. I'm going to put it on the offensive coordinator before I put it on Herbert. Listen, those NFL scouts and those NFL guys who know players say this guy's going to be a superstar. That means he needs to be coached, at least I think, when I'm looking at it, Cuervo. If you can't coach Justin Herbert to be successful, you're not going to be successful as your football team, because there are going to be times where they're going to lean on this quarterback and he's not going to be able to get the job done.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, Sonny. I mean, if you have trouble succeeding with that offense, with the Chargers, then that's you got to take a look in the mirror, man. Like,
absolutely.
What can I do different? What can I do better to get this offense where in reality it can be, has the ability to be, the potential, as we like to say.
Yes.
Which I think if you find a guy, and maybe Kellen Moore's the guy, it's his first year, maybe after the first year it's kind of like, all right, now we can get into a rhythm. But I think once you find that offensive coordinator, whether it's Moore or not, that can get the most out of that offense, I think they're a top 5 offense in the NFL.
I do too. Absolutely. So, and they got the weapons. The problem is they're not delivering the weapons the way they should be. And that's a drop of the ball. You got Keenan Allen. Listen, that guy can catch a ball. Get it close to him. Throw the ball to him. Figure it out how you get the ball to your superstars. And they haven't been able to do that on a consistent level in reality. And we've seen that this year more so than last year. He was finding yeah. So they need to figure that out a little bit more as far as that is concerned. So that said, we're at the top.
I'll tell you what it is. Real quick, Sonny, I was going to say what I think it could be too. Look, Keenan Allen's doing his thing. I can't say anything bad about Keenan Allen this year. He's top 5 receiver in the game right now, stat-wise.
He's normally an injury problem, but he hasn't this year, and that is a good thing for him. So, really quick, Pop Father, go ahead.
I would say I think what the problem is this year, the loss of Mike Williams, on the other side. I think that's what's killing the Chargers this year.
That's a good point too. Missing key personnel on that. So now, Pop Father, really quick, Miami and the Tennessee Titans. What you got going on?
What's the game again?
Miami and the Titans. This one's easy. I know who you are.
Give Miami.
Yeah, I'm on Miami. Cuervo, Miami and Titans. Anything worth talking about?
Just to see how much Tyreek Hill puts up. That's about it.
Okay. All right. And then the last game that we haven't talked about is the Green Bay Packers and the New York Giants on Monday Night Football. What you got going on there, Trey Mack?
Give me the Packers. Packers got some momentum right now, and
they just
the Giants have had none of that
playing better. Yeah. And then your boys kicked the snot out of them twice. Go ahead.
Just FYI, Mario wants the Packers to win, he said.
No.
He's rooting for them. He's rooting for them today.
He won't say it out loud.
Yep.
Do not put that evil on me. Do not put that evil on me.
That is awesome.
G-Men.
You're on the G-Men. You're actually on the G-Men? Really?
Well, I want them to win. I don't know if it's bad. I want them to win.
Would you pick them? That's the question.
No, he didn't pick the Giants, is what he's saying.
Yeah, that's right. That's how we're going to phrase it. I don't think the Giants will win.
I don't think the Giants are going to win. Yes, I get it. Completely understand. Well, you guys be safe. Enjoy yourself. Now, you said front row, then fourth, or you said fourth row, then front row. Where are you at?
We're behind the Broncos sideline.
In the fourth row or on the first row?
No, fourth.
Fourth row. All right. So we'll behind on the 40, right?
More or less, yeah.
More or less. Okay. We'll try to keep it
now, but yes.
Oh shoot! I'm sorry. I didn't realize. I was breaking a surprise. Oh man, I'm so sorry.
He knows where I like to sit. I like to almost be on the field, so I knew he'd get to.
I see.
Basically on the field if she could.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'd have to hold the security back. Hire that big dude from Philadelphia to hold her back.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, you guys enjoy yourself. Be safe on the road, and we will catch you next week, Cuervo, if and when you make it up.
All right, sounds good, Trey. I got your Cowboys tonight, by the way.
All right, good pick.
Yeah.
We'll go down to play.
Wow, I'm surprised you're not Phillying out. I'm surprised. All right, I'm on Philly. I'm staying on Philly. I ain't changing it. I think they're going to come back pissed. Hopefully they will. We'll see. Good to see you, Cuervo. Be safe out tonight. Okay. Like I said, I'm either going to crash and burn or I'm taking off today. So we got about 3 or 4 that we are like different on. So we'll see what happens. So you be good, Cuervo. Be safe, and we'll check you next time, my friend. You gotcha. He is Cuervo, the fine co-host of this program, and we will catch him next week. And he's got good seats, by the way. He's going to have there for that. So we cover everything, Mr. Trey Mack?
I think so. I think we did.
Had a ball today. Oh, wait. Bengals and Colts.
Bengals. Move on.
You went Bengals?
You want to trust Gardner?
I think. Let me check. I think I went Colts. The picks are in. We can't change them. So, no. I wait. That's the wrong week. I need week 14. There we go. So on that one, Bengals. Who did I take? I think I might have taken the Bengals. Hold on. Or is that a later game? There it is. I'm on the Bengals in Indianapolis. And the only reason why I'm at home, not because of how well the quarterback did. They're at home. Both these teams are not really good. So there's another one we're on the other side. You went what? Did you go Bengals?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was going to be one we were different on that one too. So, but that should be, I don't know. Gardner Minshew, he doesn't have the goods. He never had them. He's a backup for a reason. And so, but then again, you got Browning. He's a backup too. So the backup bowl is what we could call that one, and see what ends up happening in that
one. Okay.
All right, my man. Always good to see you. You stayed awake this time too.
I think you missed the Cardinals and the Commanders game.
No, they're on the bye. Those guys are on the bye. Yeah, they're on the bye. That's why I put them at the bottom and toward the right. So they're on the bye.
I can't see who's after the Bills and the Chiefs game. Move to the side. Move to the side. Move to the side. Other side.
Oh, the other side.
Okay. Yeah, we got them all.
Yeah. I think we got them all. So, all right, my friend.
All right.
Hope you have a great week. So when's that new show starting that you're thinking about starting? When's that starting up?
First of the year. Me and my friend Presley were thinking about doing a daily hour-long podcast, like an early morning type, just like from 8 to 9 or 9 to 10 or whatever, just to kind of get on there, talk about whatever's going on, and just have. Because she has a podcast that she does. I have my own podcast that I do. We get a chance to us promote each other, and a little symmetry there. And hopefully, it'll be entertaining for those. It'll be to our friends and family who can watch it, not so much the wrestling based people that I normally reach out towards. It'll be just once again, she's married with 2 twins and I'm me, so we've been best friends for quite a while, and we have the same. She's a big Eagles fan, by the way, big Eagles fan. So
is she on the Eagles today?
Yeah, no, of course she is. Yeah, I talked to her last night, and she was like, she was giving me all these reasons why the Eagles are going to win. I'm like, okay,
man, we should have called her.
Would been good, but I don't want to put her. I don't want to put her on the spot, and she's got 2 kids roaming around the house.
I needed some support. I'm the only one besides Greg Weber. Greg Weber, Cuervo's friend, will be on the Eagles because he never picks against them.
By the way,
he knows they should lose.
We need to have less of you and more of Cuervo's wife on the show.
Now you're not going to get any arguments from me. Yeah, not at all. So. She even had it on the cheek. The Broncos on the cheek. So
she's ready to roll. She's ready to roll.
She is, man. And they're crazy, man. They go to those games. They get those good seats, and they're sitting there watching them. They're gonna have great seats today too.
The last NFL football game I went to was the Cowboys and Patriots after Brady got back from his suspension, and that was the Greg Hardy first game as a Cowboy game. And my sister was flying in from it's the first time that me and my other 2 sisters were going to actually be in the same room together because we're all 3 from my dad's side, and we never all 3 met at the same time with each other. So this is going to be a first. My sister from Oklahoma was going to drive down to Dallas.
Wow.
My sister from around the Washington D.C. area, who's a big Cowboys fan, big Danny White fan too. We had that in common. She had flown down. She bought 3 tickets, 40, 50-yard line seats, about the 4th level. Really nice seats, but that damn TV screen was like right there, And I'm sitting there watching everybody around me. They're watching the TV. I'm sitting there going, y'all could have done that shit at home.
I could have did that at home and had better food.
Right, and not pay
$60 in parking.
Not pay $32 for a margarita and a brisket sandwich.
I can't. It's not the fact that I can't. I can. I just won't. I won't be bent over, and it's just not my way. My family wants me to go with them to Vegas, and I'm not going to enjoy Vegas anymore because they're bending everybody over now.
Nobody wants to see you get bent over, sir. I'm sorry.
Definitely, I don't even want to see it.
Nobody wants to see Santa getting it. Never mind.
Yeah, the funny thing is, I was thinking you have to have a hook to be in one of those circles on Fremont. Maybe I just don't wear the jacket and I wear all the other stuff and scare everybody away.
I don't know.
I don't know. Someone paid $20 for that stupid thing. I don't know.
Right.
So, all right, my man. It's time for some football. Enjoy the rest of your day. Always good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll catch everybody next time here on the Couch Potato Sports Show, 9 to noon, week 15. Check you later, guys. Bye-bye.